And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and I tell you what, man, I am super excited to get started again. Good afternoon to all of you, to all friends. Joy to the world, my brothers and sisters. Let it be with us again today because I'm feeling inspired today. And I scheduled a time and then I changed the time and then I lost track of time. But if you're tuning in later, thank you. But it doesn't matter to you. To those of you who are here and you find me in this time, praise God indeed. May blessings be found with you and through you. I mean, that seems pretty fair, right? I mean, I am grateful to everyone. May we together, may we grow and find our greater together today. Because today, Jack Talcott, for those, if you're here, you probably know I'm Jack Talcott, man. And I kind of do what I want. So I've been learning to get more comfortable as me, and by doing that, I give myself permission to do what I want. So realistically, today I was observing myself and considering my options and what I'm doing, and I'll admit I'm the type of guy who will confess something without it being even being asked, right? I usually pay attention and realize what I might be doing wrong. So my confession is I'm kind of leaning into my laziness today. Okay, just between you and I. So wherever you are, however you are, I do hope you can just chill out and relax with me a little bit. We'll kind of chill together. Some of Jack's laziness. I'll break that down. But here, what did I put in the back? Nothing. I put nothing in the back, and I meant to do something, but sometimes nothing's better than something, but sometimes something's better than nothing. And the message really is, again, today is a reminder how love reveals heaven. Love and heaven, they kind of go together. One leads to the other. It's just a magical, perfect path of life. So where I'm getting lazy today is I started thinking about my immediate goals and my long-term goals. See, earlier today, I was actually really, really inspired. Had some encouraging confirmations. I was reminded and learned a few different things that really kind of got my juices going. The fire of inspiration was with me, and I had clarity in these new thoughts. And so I thought maybe I should record these things while they're fresh and they got some power. Otherwise, I'm just trying to remember what I was experiencing, and it's not usually the same. But so anyway, I chose not to make the recordings, and they could have been like real great short videos, I think. But instead, what I've got here is I've got a whole bunch of different ideas again today. And I'll do my best to kind of get through them and share them as we share time together. But, oh, USA, that sounds amazing. Spent the whole day at the beach and it was absolutely beautiful. Oh, what a gift, right? That is an amazing experience. To be by water and nature and to be safe and comfortable. Well, now that gets me into one of the ideas I have, the branding, the message, this live without fear. See, I want the whole world to live without fear. Everybody. It'll be a lot safer that way, don't you think? I mean, if everyone's not afraid of how they're going to keep the lights on, how they're going to protect themselves when the disasters happen. You know, everyone's arming up armories and getting real skilled. Not everyone's doing that, but a whole bunch of people are doing that here in America and have been for a number of years. Maybe those are just the circles I've known. The folks who want to prepare for the worst. And they're willing to do anything to protect what they care for. Where was I going? To live without fear. I want you to live without fear. And it'll be easier when those around you are without fear. And that's why my goal really is to somehow find a way to speak with Donald Trump. And we'll get into my new lazy ideas in a minute, but I just realized I didn't even do the thumbnail yet. And why does it matter what order I do anything? I'm just criticizing me, I guess. But a Tal quote: seek the face of truth to find the reflection of love. And here's a tip, a trick for that to be true. To see the reflection of love in every ugly truth that you might discover, be with love. When you allow yourself to be with love, even in the worst, in the painful, in the uncomfortable, well, then you can see with more clarity. It's when you get moved by emotion and fear and anxiety and depression and all this other stuff, right? We're absent from love. And that absence from love keeps us away from the truth. It's perfectly designed. Our God, man, our God. I truly want you to know the God that I've discovered. And I've discovered the God I've known, I've gotten to know through what God has shown me. What I learned how to do, though, was to change my perspective, to think a little bit different, to actively practice what I'm suggesting to you. Be with love. To see love reflected in every bit of truth that you might discover, because it's there and it's for you. And it's better to be with love with bad news than it is to be absent from love with bad news. One way or another, the news may be troubling. But this is also a reminder that your honesty may be far more important than you realize. And I kind of want to get into this part too, the importance of honesty in the stream title, How Righteousness Prevails. Golly geez, I got a lot of topics. I'm hearing myself saying them, and it's like, come on, Jack, come on, man, keep it simple. Well, you know what? Today's just a record of today. Anything I can say today, if I don't say it clearly or if it doesn't land with you, I'll improve. But I'm certainly willing to answer any questions about the things I'm saying. That's for sure. How it's better to be honest than nice, and how righteousness prevails. I kind of thought these things were true. See, and I know that it makes sense if you just simply follow the path of logic. Righteousness, it's right, it's aligned with the truth, and the truth stays true regardless. Now, this idea that the righteous prevail, it may not be at the time that we want or in the way we want, but you can trust that the truth will prevail. So be honest. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with others. Be honest in all that you're doing. Nobody can force you to be honest, but if you don't know when you're not honest, how do you know? How do you know when you're telling them the truth? I've come across people where I'm pretty convinced they don't even know when they're lying. They've just repeated the same thing so many times. It's like it's a performance. It's looping, and they don't even know that the thing they're repeating is untrue. That's why they keep repeating it. But just because someone had trouble in the past knowing the difference between a truth or a lie doesn't mean they can't change. Just because someone had a problem in the past or they've shown patterns, it doesn't mean they can't change. And so here's what I learned about myself: I can change. And I did. Started changing me. And then I've been looking at my whole life, really, through the military in the wrong directions, but right intentions. And then in the Postal Service and in the Union. And then ever since I left those things, I've always been wanting to make a better world around me. Because for whatever reason, despite my disagreements inside of myself, one of the lies I had to overcome, right? I convinced me that I hated people. And so I just go around reminding myself of how many people I hated and who I hated and why I hated. And then I started to believe those lies that I hated people. But have you guys met me, right? Do you think I hate people? I never really did. I never did. I just wouldn't accept it. It's because it's what I was shown. It's what the society is. I can go into the way these problems started in myself and in the greater society. I can describe it in so many different perspectives, but let me try and land a few different points I started. And if you folks tune in the middle of my stream of consciousness, it may be like, what the hell are you talking about, man? I get that. Here we go. This is what I want. And we'll come back to others. Seems for whatever reason, I look for and I seem to seek out challenges. It's a pattern of mine. I'm working through it, but don't do draws. Thank you, Jack. You've done so well to realize voting won't work. Voting is just data collection. It's just like any other thing, right? Just data collection and opinion polling. Now, the difficulty is in you understanding Donald Trump isn't in charge. I never claimed he's in charge. I just consider him to be in the best position with the best connections, right? And nor do you have to seek his approval. Yeah, well, the thing is, here's the reality. I've been asking this question to myself and others. Is it time for the people to intervene in the current state of our government and economics? Or should we keep waiting? Should we keep waiting together for more reasons not to do anything yet? I mean, it seems pretty logical and reasonable that someone out there, and here, I'm talking to you, whether you're listening to me now or later, let's pause right here and just have a little mental exercise. If there was a little part of you that wanted a world that was filled with people who were no longer afraid because we treat each other with care and with respect, if there's a part of you that believes that we can do something, well, join me. Who comes to mind? Who comes to mind that might have connections, resources, some way of connecting to Donald Trump? I mean, I know there's the route of the Epstein class. There's lots of names that are connected to Donald Trump. Let's not bullshit ourselves, right? But there's got to be someone out there who's connected to the inside in some way, and that's willing to take a shot on this idea. So if you can think of a name that might be connected or might want to support or even discuss this with me, right? Let's imagine yourself being a part of that, becoming a part of something big. Whether I succeed or fail, it's worth a try. It's worth a try to confront this corruption that is in the United States government with the chairman, the commander in chief, Mr. Apprentice himself, Donald Trump. So someone's got to be able to connect. And I'm jumping back to an earlier thought where today I'm admitting and I'm confessing my sins. I'm leaning into being lazy. Because the more I thought about this, I am damn confident that God is with this idea for me to speak with Donald Trump. And the fact is, I moved here to Baltimore so I'd be more accessible and I could do my part to make that happen. But the reality is, all I need is him to click a link, right? He and I can have a conversation just like this. So to anyone who might be connected to him or know someone who could get connected to him, that's all I'm asking for. A few moments of the man's time with respect for both of us. And the purpose of this request for me to speak with Donald Trump is to truly discuss solutions for the world to repent and reform, to achieve this breakthrough in the world, right? I found a crazy goal for myself, but you know what? I had time. I didn't have a girlfriend. I didn't have a job. I didn't have much going on. So I thought, hey, why not? Why not try to change the world? Well, here's another part of Jack Talcott's story. Part of the reason I drink so much was when I got angry. I started carrying anger within me as a young man, and I've acknowledged this before. I started buying into what the others were telling me, started believing the lies, that there was no way to change the world, that the systems are what they were. I convinced myself that I couldn't do something greater, and then I didn't. But yet at the same time, I did. I became a greater man thanks to the experience I was allowed to live and the influences that God allowed me to discover. Praise God, man. I truly do. I feel in my heart I am on the right path. And I want you to know you are too. Regardless if someone comes to your mind or not, you're on the right path, especially if you're here. Okay, if you're hearing these words, let yourself accept them as a reminder for you, as a confirmation. You're doing good. It's okay, right? Maybe you're like me. Maybe you're like others I've witnessed and experienced recently. I sense there's like they're doing the work. They're putting in the steps. They're on the right path, right? They're ready for a breakthrough. And if that's you, I want to encourage you, stay true, stay righteous. Do not corrupt yourself. You don't have to, okay? Because the breakthrough is ready. This breakthrough of the darkness where the corrupted and the selfish and the greedy have been above the rules. Yeah, no, that time has come and we played that game, and pretty sure God wants us to reform. See, and that brings us back to this idea of breakthrough. Recognize once a breakthrough happens, you cannot be resistant to change, right? Because if you're afraid of change, you're never going to get that breakthrough. But if you're ready for change and you're just, change is mine, well, then you're going to get through that resistance, that challenge, that obstacle, that whatever it is that's weighing you down. You get fired up about you. then you push through that obstacle. And as soon as you do, as soon as you create that breakthrough for yourself, and God allows it, right? As soon as you create that breakthrough for yourself, you gain a whole different perspective. And with that different perspective comes different options, and you will never lose that experience of you overcoming. What a priceless gift of overcoming, of making it through, right? That's where you really decide what's going on with you, is when times get tough. So if you allow yourself and you're in tough times, please receive my encouragement and reminder that turn to God and you'll probably be better than you think. One of my thoughts today regarding how righteousness will prevail. Sometimes it's delayed, it seems, and actually, no, it's not righteous if justice is delayed. We've got systems where it's all corrupted, the criminal system, the court system, let me not get started in these systems. Here, back to this thought from today. There is no justice until people do what is just and right. Okay? You're not going to know what to do that is just or right if you're not paying attention, if you're constantly lost in your past and you're remembering what mom or dad did when you're a child, or you're reacting like you're somewhere else. It's time for all of us to find peace within ourselves, right? And that which is just and right for you, it's to become true as you, to become righteous, to do what is righteous. If you did wrong and you just swept it under the rug, you didn't really do anything to make things right, which I see happening all over our society. It's nobody's fault, but it's a bad way to live. You don't want to do damage and not go back and say, hey, what can I do? And sometimes there's no way to do that, but there's another way to help someone else, right? There's always opportunities to do what is just, to do what is right, not just for yourself, because if you're only thinking of yourself, well, that's just not right. And it's only the righteous, right? The righteous are those who choose what is right. And through choosing what is right, you discover it's simply true. Love reveals heaven. What Jesus said, go to that. Forgiveness, mercy, compassion. You already know it. You already know in your heart what's right. And what's right is just. And what is just and right, for the moment and the greater picture, well, that's righteous. And those who have faith in righteousness, that was something. I heard some scholarly words on Abraham from the Bible and some of the translations that have come out of there. And this idea was inspired by him, and the idea of Abraham being a man of faith, a man devoted to God, and therefore righteous in his ways, not just through faith, but by deed. That's lands right with me, right? So accept the truth that divine truth, divine love, this one God that brings forth all life, it's about love, okay? And love is absent when you're not righteous, when you're not doing what's right. But the rules of love are pretty simple. You be one with the nature of love. And that's what Jesus was teaching, and that's what many of the mystics were saying. It's this detachment from anything that's not God. Golly cheese. I remember reading that a long time ago, and that just sounded absolutely absurd to me. How do you detach from anything that's not God? Well, that's what I just said, wasn't it? It's the path. Detach from anything that's not God and know that God is everything. So detach from everything to become nothing. And then as you are nothing, nothing but love, then anything you see that is true, be with love with it, right? Doesn't mean you love people it doesn't mean you love abuse that people do. It means you see that that's a hurt person hurting persons, right? And it's all love. There's reflections of love even in its absence. And that's what an open mind, a mind that's given to God, you'll it's like the only you see it. You can't unsee it. I mean, it's like the world of today does not have to be the way that it is. If mankind has any choice, if there is any freedom of choice, I want to tell you that the world, and you and I are a part of this world, the world is ready for a breakthrough to overcome these past obstacles, challenges, struggles, these limitations of the past that have been holding everyone back from love, kindness, greater. It's going to happen. We're going to break through this darkness together, especially when we unite together for the purposes of overcoming the darkness together. The darkness being the corrupted. It's so simple. And it's truly biblical. It's like, holy cows, man. Holy cows. This God of ours. Andy, it seems that way, but this is the trick. Here, I'm going to drop the link because I said a lot of things, and I am happy to answer to what any questions, right? Andy, this comment, I love your honesty. That's one of the things I truly, truly appreciate and respect about you. You are following the path of righteous, right? You're seeking righteousness and you're seeking truth. And I trust this. You're still waiting for a reason to believe that this guy is real. The world truly does seem pretty godless, especially to you. Not especially, but in this context, to you, I want to confirm that I can imagine that the world seems godless to you because you've still been letting your doubts prevail. Sometimes our doubts are simply there for us to overcome, right? And that's part of this path too. I've had to learn. Oh, believe me, the list of names who have been telling me that I've been wrong, that I can't do this, I can't do that. Man, I've been doing that crap my whole life. My whole life. Oh, praise God. Indeed. For see, the moment just brought me another option to consider. And how do I consider this option? Well, I want to choose it wisely, clearly. But it could be an incredible opportunity. So I'm going to walk in that direction that we can really do something positive, discussing how righteousness prevails. Welcome, Stephen.
Yes, Hello, Brother Jack, and hello to the chatters, especially Andy. I do respect Andy a lot for his honesty, the same as Jack. That's sincere. I've had conversations with Andy. He's a respectable young man,
Agree.
even though he disagrees with Jack about God. He's seeking. He's seeking to understand. He doesn't have the same faith or vision as Jack, but he's seeking. That is respectable. We're not all at the same level or at the same path in this realm. Would you agree, Jack?
And yet, in many ways, we are, because there is only the one, and we are that. So, where someone is at or not, it is. But the reality is, Andy is a good dude. The topic of how righteousness prevails. See, when people make assumptions and they go with beliefs without really testing them for themselves, well, that's how we end up with a lot of confusion, right? Because it really is important. I said this in the description and in my post today. Everyone's honesty may be far more important than realized. And that's, like I said, one of the reasons I truly respect Andy.
Yeah, I could see that. I respect Andy as well. I was echoing your
Yeah.
sentiments. I do respect Andy. He's been honest with me when he's had issues with me, but he's
Mhm.
also said he forgives me and loves me. Said he'll always love me. So he's very respectable as a young man. He's a lot younger than I am, but he's on his path.
Ooh, speaking of the path, I was reminded today of a couple beautiful pieces of wisdom. Uh, the old quote that we're all walking each other home. We really are. And I came to this conclusion recently. I'm convinced that whether we realize it or not, one way or another, every one of us is pointing each other to God. For God is love, God is the truth. Those are the only real things. Everything else is just imagined or pretend. So if we can recognize that we are just each travelers through time, we're walking each other home on different paths.
Hmm. Yeah, I kind of see what you're saying. I can kind of see it as at least as a possibility. I'm not sure that I see it as clearly as you do, Jack, but I kind of see it. I'm just being honest. God is love, and I think maybe God sends some of us here to help test others, lead others, challenge others. We're instruments of God in a way. We're all kind of branches of the tree. If God's the tree, we're kind of like the branches and the leaves. And there's billions of us here.
It's incredible. Speaking of, I was that number. I was considering earlier how much I've learned and how little I know compared to what's out there to be learned. We're getting a feedback again, Stephen. Just
Oh
started.
no, that's weird. Is it better now?
Well, it's when I speak. So,
Oh, it's when you speak. Okay, I'll try to mute myself when you speak. I do have a question for you about Islam. Do you think they believe in the same God that you believe in? They call their God Allah or Allah. I've seen a lot of people posting recently about it, converting, talking about it. Is it the same God, Jack, or do you think it's a different God?
my understanding is they're pointing at the one God, as were the Jewish traditions and the Christians secondarily. I mean, it's just a different interpretation. It's all that is. I mean, there's been spiritual interpretations of consciousness and life and the giver of that. I mean, there's been wise wisdom throughout time. This is what I mean. Guys, there is so much to learn. All this time arguing with each other, what the frick are we doing? Seriously, there's so much to learn, not just from each other, but through some truly scholarly individuals. And then I started thinking about all the details they might know. Like, I have no clue how the speed of light could even conceptually be measured. I got no clue how a lot of things work, right? I got to trust that somewhere along the lines this apparently was true-ish, or figure out is it even relevant to me? But thinking about the amount of sciences that have developed and the different spiritual paths, the different religions, there's been so much learned. I mean, hell, you even drive outside of your local community and you might discover caves or creeks or some part of history that you didn't know was there. And it was there the whole time. I've done that. There's so much to see, so much to discover. There's so much for us to do while we're alive. That's what I realized. It would take an incredibly large tribe and many, many, many lifetimes in order to start trying to understand this incredible existence we're a part of. It makes sense.
Yeah. You mentioned the speed of light measuring. There was a Jewish scholar that measured the speed of light actually centuries ago, Finkelstein. He was a scientist and scholar. He was the first one that came up with the number for that. But I like what you said about there's one true God. It's the same Allah as the others, the Abrahamic God, and some call it the one true power. The one true power, which is interesting.
Ooh, it is. Because that one true power, all energy, all light, all life comes from and through that one true God. And if you think that God doesn't have control, ha!
It's laughable, isn't it? But you know, Jack, a lot of Christians do believe that this world is run by Satan or the Shaitan, as some
Right.
call it.
Mhm.
For the meantime, that God's coming back and Jesus is going to make a second coming and take out Satan. What are your thoughts on that? That there's a lot of evil in the world because there is an evil force here on earth.
Actually, if you give me just a moment, this conversation's actually related to someone. Uh, what did I do with it? Oh, yeah, this one. There's a dude I discovered on Instagram, and I'm hoping, well, you know what? My hopes be damned. He's someone I appreciate what he's sharing, and I'll share his stuff here. His name's Everyone's Brother. I mean, that seemed right for me. So uh, you asked a question, and it was about, I thought about children. I thought about how the churches have kind of misunderstood things. And I won't just say churches, a lot of the traditions have. We got another guest in the back, but if it happens, it'll be in a few minutes. Okay. Here, I'm going to play this.
Down to the most evil on this planet right now. Most of us are going to think of the nature of those files we were exposed to. Some of us might think about the warmongers dragging us through endless wars. Others might think about the greedy corporations. We could also consider the government wanting never-ending control. But that's not the most evil that we face today. See, the so-called religion of love is teaching its children that there is a place of eternal torment and damnation. If you can't line up, if you can't act right, if you can't follow this way of life, then you're going to hell. And the crazy thing about that is that this information was handed to them in a book. None of these people have ever been there. And so the most unspeakable evil on earth right now are the parents teaching their kids that there is a place that they go called hell, robbing them completely of their innocence and preventing them to be true expressions of who they really are. When it comes down to the most evil on the...
Oops. There we go.
Oh wow, that's interesting. I thought it was child abuse when I was a kid because I was raised Catholic, and I thought they're putting all this scary shit into our heads, making us afraid of going to hell. They're making us afraid of God and the angels, and I didn't think it was right.
No, you were right. I mean, this is what I kind of, because of those things that I couldn't accept, I turned my back on God because I saw the results, the other people who called themselves believers, and I was like, dude, what good is that? I can be that good without church. I mean,
I saw some relatives and friends of the family that were older people. They were very devout Catholics, went to church multiple times a week, but they behaved as evil, judgmental pricks. Like they would call children Satan worshipers if you liked rock music and stuff like that. It was terrible.
well, and this is the problem. Generation after generation has been misguided, misled. I mean, I said this recently. It's so obvious. People have talked people out of talking to God, out of having a personal relationship with the source of life and all that lives it. We're here. I don't know what to say. There's a lot of thoughts coming up, but I'd just be repeating myself about what's true, what I feel true about me.
Well, Jack, we're not here to teach children to fear God and fear going to hell. Surely.
No,
that
right.
clip that you shared was perfect.
Thank you. And along those lines, I started this thought earlier, and let me try to be a little more clear. My goal is to help the entire world live without fear. I think we'd get the greatest bang from the buck, right? The greatest opportunity is to connect with those who are connected. So if you can think of anyone who's connected, I think it would be pretty good for old Jackie boy, a man of God and love and peace, and wanting to be on the side of justice and wanting righteousness to prevail. And maybe we can find a way to help peace be shared.
Let's find a way. Let's be positive, have faith in God, and find a way instead of us just bitching, arguing, complaining, all the same typical human stuff. I reached out to someone. What's his name again? Metafinkel? No,
Sure.
that's the angel. Finkelstein.
Tell you what, we've
The
got
senator. Okay.
Someone in the back who makes the claim he could be very helpful, and I do believe him.
I emailed Senator Finkelstein about this.
And what's your relationship there?
Well, I have family connections. I don't know him personally, but I'm from a fairly wealthy family that was connected in business, various businesses. So, they might be able to help.
All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah, it's worth a shot.
It is actually, truly, any idea that could help, I think, is worth a try. And for anyone who's really willing to try, well, then know that you're becoming a part of this. And if you want to become a part of this path, which I truly feel is in service of God's will, God's will for me at least, well, you get to be a part of something big, because we are a part of something big.
Yes. Yes. And we have to do what we can to speak against Israel, their crimes, their atrocities. And I think reaching out to Jewish politicians in America is part of it. They have to start speaking out against this because it's an atrocity.
Yeah. Well, it would be very helpful. It'd be very helpful if a lot of people did a lot of different things. But here, I'm going to take a chance. Now, Mr. Snafu, I'm going to be more respectful to those who tune in than I will be to you. Okay, so if you start running on and working yourself up, we're not going to last very long. But if you can stay calm, and we'll stay calm together, we can have some good discussions, I'm sure, especially about the topic.
And
Welcome
this
back.
is why you don't get any help. Because look how you introduced. I'm going to treat you like shit versus others' opinions who can't help you. By the way, King, it's good to see you in the co-host seat as you, Mr. King. Jack needs guidance from real motherfuckers, unlike what he's been dealing with.
Hey,
Mr.
please
King's a good choice.
clean up the language, please. Okay.
Oh, I
Thank
think your
you.
biasness. I'm going to treat you like shit. Is what you basically said to me.
That's
When I
not
got the hookup. I do got the hookups, and yeah, you're right. Why would I want to share my hookups with you the way you treat
Well,
people?
hold on.
I'm glad you decided
Let
to
me
put
answer.
King
Let
back
me
in
answer.
the position he deserves
See,
to be
this
in.
is why you stay confused about me.
No,
Because you won't let me answer. I told you, excuse me. Excuse me for my rudeness there, please.
that was disgusting.
I know.
Yeah,
It was. Sorry.
it was.
I don't know.
I thought you were going to puke. I thought you were going to puke.
Hey,
I think he did. I think he did a little.
hold on. Okay. Golly, geez.
How's it? Can I ask you a
asked the
question? How's it feel?
No, you
I
already
want to
did.
ask one question, please.
No, you already did.
No, I got a better question. How's it feel to have the King back in the rightful spot of co-host versus your other like fucktards you usually have? It feels good, huh?
Do you want an honest answer, or?
Yeah.
I think the question is pointed in the wrong direction, and I don't find relevance either way. I'm fine without him. He's being polite.
That's not nice.
Well, it's the truth. And honestly, here's something that's I think is a little bit different about me is I'd rather be honest than nice.
So
I'm not
let me
gonna
ask you
pretend.
this. The show has been going good, great convo. I'm even in a good mood coming here talking to you guys. Like, it's because of the King's presence and his co-host position. You're not giving him the
I
credit.
agree.
Tell you what, here's
agree.
the thing. What you're missing though is the point. See, you're looking in the wrong direction. Now, you asked me a different question that I was trying to answer. I was patient with you.
I'm sorry. Look, even the King has me saying I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You asked a question about why should you help me, and then you went on to remind yourself of the excuses you found of why you shouldn't help me. The question I want to pose to you, what would God consider righteous? Forgiving me and trying to support this idea of ending wars and trying to save some human lives as soon as possible? Or should you keep antagonizing me and accusing me?
That's not what the question was. The question, the thing was, why would I not want to share my connections or hookups with you? I've told you exactly why.
No, you've told me why you would
And
not.
you don't want to listen to my reasons.
Hold on. No, please. In my question, what I wanted you to do is to look at the righteous reasons. What reasons were righteous? What is the righteous thing to do? What is the right thing to do in the greater picture? Should you keep holding that over my head, Or should you at least help me have, all I'm asking for is to help me talk to a human being, dude. That's all I'm asking for. We got another guest here. I don't mean to say it like that. Hank, God bless. Welcome back to you, my brother. It's good to see you.
Where next day that you bring people on that harm your show, be blackjack.
Let's give him a chance, please. Welcome, Hank.
I don't even need a chance. I have a very long track record of being reasonable. Just to be
partial truth.
Yes,
partial truth.
Yeah, that's true. It is partial.
You didn't have any issues on my show yesterday, Stephen. I'm a very reasonable host.
We got along very well yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
But that doesn't mean that sometimes you're unreasonable.
Right.
Give me any examples.
We've had our time.
You get angry here with Jack. You at times you've gotten heated towards Paul or Jack or Snafu.
Let's pause. There's another guest I want to welcome back for sure. Objective Ethics. Welcome, brother.
Always good to see you, family. Thank you so much.
You joining with anything moving you to join, or where we at?
Yeah, I didn't want to cut ahead in line here. I can wait my turn, but yeah, I had a few things in mind.
I'd much rather discuss what you're bringing, I'm sure. Please.
Fair enough. I'll take that as a compliment. Listen, brother, I just wanted to, I guess, first of all, I want to publicly apologize to you because I did not realize, when I was talking to Grazy Guru or Charles or whatever he likes to go by, Jesus Pantheon, and he wanted to debate me about the existence of God. And I said, yeah, I'm more than happy to, and I'd be happy to debate that here on your channel and stuff. When I said that, brother, I did not realize that you were doing the 12-step thing. I did not realize you're in recovery, and I didn't realize you had the whole higher power thing going or whatever. So I feel like that's very inconsiderate of your journey. And I am remiss that I was ignorant, of your situation personally. So I do apologize to you sincerely.
10 years sober, by the way. Congratulations.
I'll accept the challenge, but we cannot do it in this venue. But yes, I will accept your debate challenge on assuming you're in the negative.
Yeah, I was actually talking. I have it lined up with Guru. But if you want to do that debate on the topic of the existence of God, I'm more than happy to do it. Just don't want to do it on this platform.
Yes, I agree. I'll give you my Discord and email. We'll get.
That sounds good, guys. That sounds good.
I'm easy to get a hold of. I'm on Discord. Objective Ethics. My YouTube channel. You could, in the description of my YouTube channel, you can grab my email there. No problem.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna send you a call.
Yeah, you guys organize it behind the scenes. Let's not take up the time on the show with this. Is Objective Ethics, is that Cosmic Fox? The voice sounds familiar to me.
No, but I do really like Melanie. In fact, Melanie and I are going to be doing a 3-on-3 debate about transgender identity and trans rights against three opponents who don't think that there is such a thing as a transgender identity and don't think that we should be offering particular rights to transgender people. So I'm looking forward to teaming up with Melanie. I find her to be extremely intelligent, well articulated.
Me too.
Hey, okay.
And if I can, thank you for your consideration of me and recognizing that there could be some concern there, but what it pointed out to me, dude, is you're just like me. You're willing to look at yourself, and if you find something, you're going to go speak up. And I mentioned at the beginning of my stream that one of the things I noticed about me is I'll confess my guilt before anyone even realizes I did anything wrong. Right?
I got to confess, I'm against trans rights. I got to be honest. I'm not for it. I'm not in favor. Where do you stand,
matter.
Hank, on that?
Doesn't matter.
Hank.
Doesn't matter. Not at this point.
All right. Can we bring Snafu back? Is he still in the back?
Stephen, please recognize I was actually speaking with Objective Ethics. At least that's what I felt. And you got an echo again. please. Golly geez, man. Are you there still, brother?
Absolutely.
Okay. What I think, if you understood, what I think Hank was offering is an alternative location for you two to have the discussion. And so whatever works for you two, I'm in support of.
Yeah.
Right?
So here's the
Hank can
thing.
do a good
I
job.
know you want your show focused on you, so that's why we'll take the debate, but not on your show because you don't want to deal with that. I already know that. Unless you change your mind, but generally you don't want to deal with that. I know that.
I mean,
I'm not comfortable doing it here because I also went through a lot of. I have a history. You know, I grew up on the streets. I worked in the adult industry. I have a lot of history with drugs, alcohol, and all that kind of stuff. Went to prison for dealing drugs, high-speed police chases, the whole 9 yards. And I turned my life around, and I did it without religion. But I was around a lot of people who were going through the same stuff I was. And the significant majority of my brothers and sisters in recovery used religion as that crutch to get them out, you know. And I feel like on my channel, I do talk about religion. And I've said it many times that I'm not an anti-theist because I do see there's a lot of benefits to religion in the way that people apply it to their lives. I have to admit, Jack, that I am slowly and very regretfully moving towards anti-theism because I do believe that organized religions, and particularly the Abrahamic religions, do tend to lead people to moral bankruptcy. And that's unfortunate because I see religion as a tool. It's like any other tool, right? It's if somebody uses a hammer to go bash somebody in the head, are we no longer going to use hammers to drive nails? Well, no. You know what I mean? So I see religion the same way. If religion can be used just for the good, just to inspire people to do better, to, you know, seek justice and truth, things, fairness, things like that, to give them a reason to be humble, which is really important, to learn how to control our egos. All those things are wonderful, and religion is very effective at doing that. So I'm having a hard time balancing the positive and the negative with what religion is doing because, like, for example, as I'm sure you and I would be on the same page, that Christian nationalism is a very dangerous idea and would be horrible for America. Some of the extreme Islamic countries and what they do to people is inhumane. And again, that's not all Muslims and that's not all Christians, but you know, you just see such good and such bad. So I'm having a difficult time balancing all that. You know, but I do see, as I was saying before, forgive me, I digress. As I was saying before, I do see that religion has helped so many people, and the drug and alcohol recovery is one of those ways. And so I just don't want to be part of something that I feel like it'd be very irresponsible of me to kick that crutch out from somebody who clearly needs that to lean on. And so that's why I don't want to do that on this platform. I'm also wondering, because I am a very honest and very direct person, where I should go from here moving forward. Because you mentioned Abraham, for example, and when you really read the story of Abraham was a liar, and that goes against what I hear you talking about a lot. Abraham also was in an incestual relationship with his sister, and God lied to Abraham.
Yep.
So there's so many problems there. When God's a liar in that story, he tells Abraham he wants him to sacrifice his son, knowing full well that he has no intention of wanting Isaac to be sacrificed. It's manipulation or coercion at the very least, which are two things I think you and I would agree on that are demonstrably immoral. So I just have so many issues with when people cite things like that. But at the same point in time, like I said, I don't want to tear down the wall that's keeping you, secure. I don't know what to do moving forward.
Fear not. Worry not. Because truly, I'm not bound by any specific religion, denomination, title, anything. I've been trying to figure out what I sound like, right? People tell me I sound like different things, but my religion is love and my purpose is truth. seeking and sharing truth.
Well, we're definitely on the same page with that.
Yep.
I did watch your debate the other day and really enjoyed it. Actually, I think you guys did a good job. You were both very respectful, and I prefer those kind of debates. I know a lot of people like the bloodbaths, and I'm just not into it. The performative aspect of debate. Thank you, Jack. I appreciate you doing that.
I remember. Right.
Yes, thank you so much. And I can step down here and let other people join too. But just in regards to the debate, the only problem is, after watching the debate, and I watched up until you left the open panel. After that, I wasn't really interested in what those. In fact, most of that open panel was kind of nonsensical in my opinion. But I was left with more questions than answers, and it could be due to my own ignorance, But I wasn't really picking up a lot of solutions. I think the gentleman you debated, I think he pressed you very well. He was very well articulated, really smart young man. And I didn't hear him offering any solutions either, frankly. I think that you were really on the hot seat most of that debate. And I'm not quite sure what the format of that was supposed to be, because it didn't seem like you got a chance to really cross-examine him. I mean, I watched like an hour and 40 minutes into the debate, and you never really got to question him at all. So you both had opening statements and you both had closing statements. But what was it just supposed to be a back and forth at the whole time? There was no like actual rebuttals or cross-examinations. Am I getting that right?
I'm pretty sure, yeah, it was just supposed to be fluid, because I'm not a debate guy. I really am more of a discussion guy. But one of the things I realized certainly is I could have easily done a better job of leading the conversation instead of just being so responsive. Yeah, I learned a lot, and I don't know. I wasn't real happy with the way I did.
Well, I'm proud of you for doing it, because I started doing formal debates myself now maybe a year ago at this point, and you learn a lot each time. You get better and better at it. And I will definitely say, when I watched my last debate I had on Sarah's channel and I compare that to the first debate I did a year ago, I made significant improvements, and I have a long way to go to become a better debater. I can always criticize something about my performance, and when we should be willing to do that, because none of us are perfect. But you do learn more as you go along, and I would definitely recommend you keep at it, because I think that doing the formal debates is going to be a necessary skill for you to obtain if you're going to really get into some of these political arenas and deal with people who are in positions of making change. You're going to have to come, that's what I would recommend. It would be a skill. And I'm not saying you're not good at it, and I'm not being critical of you. I think that it could be a really useful tool for you, because the rhetoric is really important. You've got to be able to use keywords, and you've got to have clear, concise responses and powerful arguments. You've got to put it all together fairly seamlessly to keep people's attention, because we all are idiots in a sense. We have very short attention spans. That's just, I know I'm guilty of that. So I think that, I'd definitely recommend, for whatever it's worth, my opinion to you, I would recommend you continue to do the formal debates, but I would recommend that you do it, expect or demand a format where you have set rebuttal times and set cross-examination times. I know people like to do the open back and forth format, but unfortunately, if one person is a little bit stronger with the rhetoric or has a stronger personality, so to speak, like your opponent did, he just basically just steamrolled you a little bit, because he just controlled the conversation. And I think that, and because you're such a genuine, sincere person, which is one of the things I think me and the audience that follow you respect so much about you, it just didn't give you a chance to really fight back, because you were being so polite. Whereas if it's a structured time, if you had 15, 20 minutes or 30 minutes to literally just cross him, I think you could have exposed, because there's a lot of weaknesses in his position, position.
Yes, there was. And thank you. I do appreciate that. Now, you did kind of remind me of something, because you're absolutely right. In order to accomplish what I'm hoping to do, it may take better skills at communicating, right? Well, this is what another part. It doesn't have to be me. If anyone knows someone who can get on board with this idea and they can communicate it, dude, let's get behind them. Let's do something. Because, well, It is what it is. I'm publicly talking about a nonviolent revolution. Nonviolent is the key, but it is time for the people to intervene.
Have you studied the history of the Salt Road March and Gandhi and how he basically overcame tyranny with the British government in India? Because I think that could be a really valuable tool to look at how effective Gandhi was. And Gandhi said it himself, and I think this is the solution, right? Be the change you want to see the world make. It starts with us individually. But then once we've got that, we've got to collect together and then find a way. Maybe organizing peace marches all over the country would be a great way to start, because, they did like the No Kings marches. They had millions of people getting involved in that. And that kind of thing makes a statement because it gets on the news. And even people who weren't involved in the marches know about it. So, I mean, you do have a lot of charisma working for you. And I think you've got a great message with the peace thing. I'm definitely down. I would go march with you, and I'm not even an activist. I don't get into politics really, but I would definitely get behind your slogan there. So just some things to consider. Should step down and let your other guests step up to have an opportunity. And I really appreciate your time as always, brother. Thank you so much. And thank you for accepting my apology.
Hey, of course. Thank you, brother. And I'll assume what you guys need, you guys can connect with. Here, Imperius has been patient.
Jack, peace and Jack, as always, peace and Jack. I wanted to talk to him. He always wants to debate, but he never wants to debate me, who actually debates professionally, because I'll wipe the floor with him. Jack, this guy has minimal intelligence. He doesn't understand debate. Debate can be won in many ways. It could be won through rhetoric. It could be won through fact. It could be won through perception. There's a lot of ways to win debate. He's never formally debated. He's never been in the National Forensic League. What is he talking about?
I think his point was that it would help me become a better communicator.
Jack, you need me to Jack, I created Andrew Wilson. I was the one who made him the way he is.
You're to blame? You bastard.
Well, he's a junior. Jack, he's a junior. He's a junior varsity of me. I mean,
okay, I accept your challenge too. Then.
I'm 100 times worse than he is. That's why he don't deal with me, Jack. He knows.
Oh,
he calls me Mr. Imperious, Jack. He calls me Mr. Imperious. Anyway, Jack, look, in the end, you did fine in the debate, Jack, because perceptually you stood by who you are. And the thing is, again, that guy is just a lot of these debate bro. They're all autistic spurgs, Jack. It's the same thing you hear these ortho bros all who's the true church? The true church, the true church. And I just always ask them, I'm like, yeah, Orthodox guys, don't you understand a lot of your patriarchs were appointed by Muslims? Because when the Muslims took over the Eastern Orthodox churches regions, they appointed the heads of the churches. So I would just tell them, okay, so you guys are Muslims. This is what I'm saying. It's all a bunch of autistic people that don't know how to break other people's arguments, Jack. If you want, I could have won that whole debate in 5 seconds with you. I could have won the debate in 5 seconds, because essentially the guy, all he was saying was, well, it's not practical for us to be this way because that would lead to our own destruction. Jesus didn't care about that. He said, if you have true faith, you would live by how Jesus Christ said, even if it's impractical, even if it doesn't go by what you feel, even by what you don't like, because in the end, if you truly believe Christ is the way, the truth, and the light, everything he said is fact. So they're redundant. They are not. They're contradictory. They say they're the hardest believers, yet they don't really believe in what Christ said.
That's exactly it.
And that's why, for me, I'm Catholic, and trust me, I'm really hardcore against immigration, LGBT. But the Pope is my spiritual leader. When he says you should still welcome immigrants and treat them good, I hate it. Personally, in my heart, I'm like, fuck these people, string them up. But what I say, I have to obey what I know truth is, Jack. And the truth is Jesus wouldn't want me to do that. And as much as I hate that, the Pope is morally correct.
And
you get what I'm saying, Jack?
Well, I'm not.
It does. True morals is often, Jack. What I'm saying is, true morals is oftentimes against our own preferences.
It may, yes, often, but this is the stream title: how righteousness prevails. And it may be uncomfortable, and the choice to be righteous may feel uncomfortable, and it may even bring a little pain. But I trust in the eyes of God, righteousness is the only path to love, right? People fall in love with bad ideas.
I fell in love with your ideas, Jack.
Thank you. These ideas, though, are not mine. These are nothing new. They're just new to me and maybe new to you. But the ideas of love, you said it yourself. The way and the teachings of Jesus is the only way to be. It is the truth. I don't care about opinions on religion. I don't.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing is he's the perfect example. Now he never expects us to be, because we're never going to be perfect. But the idea of perfect, to strive for that, is holiness amongst itself. The desire to be good, Jack. The desire to get better. That's what makes us human. As much as we do evil, horrible, we also want to be good. There's also this striving in humans as people. We want to do better. We want to grow. We're not made to sit still, Jack.
No. And along those lines of growth and doing good, I was considering earlier, you look at the way things are. In ideal situations, ideal conditions, what's natural in ideal situations may appear unnatural. An example is we've got people who've studied soil and plants and stuff, and we know that if we put the right conditions, we're going to get a bountiful harvest, right? And it'll blow the other harvests away. Well, what's the ideal situation for a man or a woman? The ideal situation is to simply avoid sin.
That's right, Jack. That's right. Jack, can I sing you something, Jack? I got a song. I want to know what love is. I want you to show me. I want to feel what love is. I know you can show me. That's one. Do you remember that song, Jack, from Foreigner?
Yes, I do remember that song. It was sang a little bit different than what I just heard, but I sure do appreciate what you're bringing, my friend. You are something. We are something. We are that which is, right? And when we're honest, we can be with that which is true. And that which is true is with God. It's from God for us to be with. So let's be with the truth, right? Together. The truth of love is ours to claim or deny. It really is. I know for a fact that this tip works. If you can figure out how to do it, you win. You win a better life. If you can walk with love, if you can be with love as you look at mentally and emotionally, you look at the things that trouble you. If you can be with love, you can see how it's reflected in that. But if you're angry at what you're thinking about and you're letting your emotions get over and your mind starts racing, well, take a breath. And then another one. And then breathe it
Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. You know what I learned, Jack, in jiu-jitsu? You know the best technique? Okay, so you put your arms over your head, you breathe through your nose, hold it for 10 seconds, and while you're holding it, count your heartbeat, like measure it and try to like focus on slowing it, and then breathe out slowly through your mouth, Jack. That's the best way to, Jack, Jack, I'm feeling a lot of love from the chat today. They're real supportive of my vocal talents, Jack. I was really happy with that. I thought I was a little nervous. I was thinking I couldn't hit those notes like that, but we made it through, Jack.
You are a showman. Certainly a treat and a test at different times. But
Jack,
I think
aren't we all just kind of a yin and yang, Jack? We're good. All of us, each of us are good and bad, Jack. We're balanced. We're the human condition. All we
Well,
can do is do the best we can, Jack. We keep improving through
yeah,
love, Jack.
learning and growing every day with a mind's focus and a heart's focus on love. Knowing that the way to be with peace and joy and true prosperity, having a heart filled with peace and gratitude, that is saved for the righteous. Those who are unrighteous will think they get away with things, but there's no denying God's power, God's control. And there's no getting away with what's true. I mean, the truth is true. I have faith in me, the story that God is living me through. I have faith that the righteous prevail. I follow Jesus confidently. Constant prayer and gratitude. I've been watching the signs, and more my practice is, if I've got any choice to make, I go to God first. And it seems to be the best path, the most logical path too. It's just a matter of remembering, let me seek God's will for me. That includes going to get a snack too. I got to figure this stuff out.
All we can do, Jack, is keep trying, man. We got to keep pushing forward, Jack. Every day, Jack, I get a lot of insults from people in the chat. I feel a lot of rejection sometimes. Emily pushes back against me, but I know she really does love me. I know a lot of pushback, Jack, is that people are afraid to love. They're afraid to open up their hearts because they've been hurt before, Jack. I think a lot. Jack, I've learned to live without fear in that manner. I open my heart up to people, Jack. I care about people. I tell people deep secrets about myself, and I try to be very vulnerable to people, Jack. I do. I try to be vulnerable and honest to people, Jack. I think that's the best way.
Thing it is. The only way to live is with a devotion to honesty. And with that, having a faith in righteousness, having faith that it's better.
Yes, you can be honest, but the Bible also says don't be a snitch, don't be a gossip. The Bible says that.
Yeah,
Emily, I apologize. Emily, I'm sorry. It's hard for me to control how attracted I am to you, and from time to time,
it's not.
But no, it is, Jack. It really is. As a man with high testosterone levels, Jack, it wreaks havoc on me, Jack. Jack, so I have a book I recently bought that I have a nightly reading on. Do you know what it's called, Jack?
No.
It's called How to Live with an Enormous Penis. Real book, Jack. I'm not lying. Real book. It says how to advice for a man who has too much. And I've been reading it, and it has a lot of instruction about how to humble yourself and to restrict your sexual impulses, Jack. You know what I mean?
Well,
it's a good thing.
Yeah, that's actually, there was a thought I had for you the other day. I'd encourage you to catch your lustful thoughts before the impulses before they move you. It's
Jack, do you think I should use shock therapy maybe?
No.
when I say something bad, it shocks me or something, you know what I mean? If I say a word like penis, it'll shock me or something, peanuts, you know what I mean?
You could do that. But what I found is really the benefits of not allowing myself to entertain lustful thoughts or inappropriate thoughts. It helps me have a clear conscience, and I can be without guilt. I don't feel bad because I'm less likely to do or say things that are not appropriate for me.
Well, Jack, I will say this, Jack, as a 90s kid, it's kind of hard to understand what appropriate is nowadays, because you got a lot of a lot of vulgarity around on the street, and a lot of anger, Jack, and a lot of violence around, Jack. It wasn't like this in the 90s. There was everyone was wearing, remember the bright shirts we wore? In the 90s, when I was a 90s kid, it was bright green and yellow and red shirts and bright blue shirt, and we were we're listening to like great like happy music. Like Jack, you remember Now? Like the Now CDs where it was like the top hits of the night. Like, yeah, Now, Jack. I remember that in the 90s where it would take like all the top hits and stuff. Like that was like us, Jack, in the 90s, when I was a little kid. And it just seems so, it's hard to understand what is acceptable. Because Jack, think of it now. You have to sometimes ask, like, what if I'm having a conversation, like this is the male restroom, but like I would ask, like, do men have to have penises? Right now, if I said that word, I get shocked because I'm trying to restrict saying, you know what I mean? So it's because I couldn't even discuss like social or political commentary. I'd get shocked, Jack. With all the nonsense. I'm just saying, Jack, it's a hard world out there. It's hard for imperious.
It doesn't have to be, though. It can be so much more simple. I've learned that for myself, and I believe it's just a logical conclusion. Our complications and are out of control. It's in the mind. That's where it is. It's where it begins and lives. And so if you can master your mind, knowing which thoughts, which beliefs to detach from, and then which thoughts, which beliefs to bring in close and maybe transform. Once you start mastering that, dude, the simplicity is revealed. It's just the only
Jack,
thing that
you know what I want to manifest, Jack? So I was watching the other day, and there's a TV show when I was a kid I used to watch on Saturdays called WMAC Masters. And this was like the most awesome show as a kid. It had all these karate, like martial, and it taught about self-discipline, respect, love, community, sacrifice, Jack. And it had all these martial artists on there, and they would like fight like as like level like bars on like health bars, and it was like a living Street Fighter game, Jack, but with real martial artists. And then they would like teach you a lesson in each episode, Jack. You know what I mean? And then there was like Dare on Nickelodeon where the kids would like compete, Jack. And we used to run up the aggro crag and have all these like physical. Remember that? Do you remember, Jack? We need more happiness for kids, Jack. I'm tired of seeing kids on the phones and the computers. We need to go ride our bikes again, Jack. I'm going to go ride my bike today on the beach, Jack, I think I'm going to do that today, Jack. You've inspired me to do that.
All right. I'm glad. And yeah, it sounded like, I think you're wanting some connection, and the idea of helping do more for the kids. That's another good thing I heard you pointing at. Going out and biking, yeah. Sunny day,
We gotta appreciate nature, Jack. We gotta appreciate nature. I like to pick up garbage on the way, Jack. I always pick up litter when I see it. There's not much, but I do see it, Jack. When I see like a cup on the beach, I get mad, Jack. I want to stick that cup up someone's ass, Jack. I don't like when they do that. It makes me real angry. But then I think, what would Jack do? WWJD. What would Jack do?
Yeah, exactly. And to know that, I mean, you know it yourself. You're seeing something you don't like, and it is. So people littering, it's righteous anger. But the anger is for you to overcome and use that righteousness to figure out what does love want, right? Because love,
Jack, I'm just saying we need harsher punishments to people that F around, Jack. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of littering. I'm tired of animal abuse, Jack.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of Hank staring blindly into the screen and not talking. Jack. I'm tired of it.
Please.
I'll talk over you if you ask me to nicely, like you just did. It's not a big deal. I'm tired of false accusations from some people who visit regularly.
Agreed. I think Hank was actually just waiting patiently. So, hey, these things you hate, I'd like you to consider as well. Maybe even when you're out riding the bike, ask yourself the question: if there was someone or some way to help Jack or these ideas get to Trump, I mean, I'd love to have conversations.
Jack, what about a big firework you shoot over DC? It says Donald Trump, contact Jack Talcott and your number. That could be a way, right?
Well, I suppose that sounds pretty complicated and probably more.
Well, it's just a
expensive
firework.
than
I mean, you could pay for those, Jack. Those are pretty. All fireworks show numbers or letters in the sky if you blow them up. That's a good. I think that would be a good. Trump, call Jack for salvation.
I actually think it would be more simple. There's someone out there who knows someone, and this someone is connected. He's got a way to get the attention of someone near Trump. And all we need is a few minutes to have a brief conversation about, well, a lot of things, but just to get it started. And so I can introduce myself, I want to offer Donald Trump the clear path to world peace and following the way of God, right? Following the way of Jesus. I want to offer him my personal support and share what I've learned. Because if Donald Trump thought more like Christ, the wars would be over. There'd been justice for the victims and all of the organized, connected individuals in the Epstein files. There would have been justice by now, but all around the world, in places of influence and power, as well as people sleeping out in the cold, we've got people who have confused minds and they don't know what's going on. Well, we can change everything. All we got to do is connect the right people with the right ideas. And I'm convinced, I already know there's many groups, many organizations. People are gathering and discussing ideas and solutions. So there's a lot of people and a lot of directions, but I think we're still disorganized. And so what I'm hoping to find is people who are willing to connect, right, with me. Let's connect some of these organizations together. Let's find a way for the purposes of saving human lives, trying to do right by justice, trying to do right by God, ending the wars and beginning reforms. The two go together.
Well, Jack, I'm going to go ride my bike. I want to sing you a goodbye song, Jack.
Please do.
Hey, won't you come see about me? I'll be alone dancing and you know it, Jack. Tell me your troubles and doubts, giving everything inside and out. Love strange, so real in the dark. Think of the tender things that we are working on. Slow change may pull us apart. When the light get back to your heart, Jack, don't you forget about me. Don't, Jack, forget about me. All right, Jack, I'll see you later.
Hey, don't leave yet, Imperious.
What?
Because I have an idea for some solutions. Jack may not like it because it's a little too dark side, but I'm storing some lawfare, at least in my part of the world, so we can get some leverage, we can actually make some change. What do you think about that as a litigant yourself?
I'm too high from singing to Jack. I didn't hear a damn word you said. Jack, I'll talk to you soon. I love you, Jack. Don't forget about me, Jack. Never let go, Jack. We're like on the Titanic. If you were Leonardo, I wouldn't have asked you to leave the door, Jack. All right, I'll talk to you later.
Peace and blessings. Thank you for sure. We've got another guest. I want to welcome back our friend Duck. How are you today?
Hey, what's going on, Jack? I'm good. How are you?
I'm feeling blessed. Anything moving you? You join in with any intentions or ideas?
No, I'm just chilling. Yeah, I mean, righteousness. One of the things I was thinking about righteousness is they say it's better to be like the poorest rich man or rich person. You should be a poor rich person. It's also better to be the most righteous, like, underdog, or the most righteous kind of like loser in a society. When we put labels on things, righteousness can be one of those labels, but I guess it doesn't have to either.
Well, I think if one wants to have faith in righteousness and wants to actually is willing to try and become a representation of righteousness, well, then you're going to look and pay attention. You're going to ask, what is the right thing to do? I mean, that's what faith, if you have faith in righteousness, then you choose what is just. And most times you'll be right. And if you're not, you'll make it right. It's as simple as that. The religions don't have to overcomplicate it.
Yeah, but you do. So one thing we are different on is you put religious connotations on righteousness. I don't get my ethics from any god. So I think righteousness has to do with like usually for me it's virtue ethics. Like it's
Okay.
forms of virtue. And so having faith in righteousness is having a well-found belief in righteousness as well.
Yeah. But please consider as well, with or without God, morals and ethics are guidelines for the unsaintly. If you commit yourself to being with the divine and for the divine, then you're on that path. And then unrighteousness, immoral, they become non-choices. You don't even consider them.
Yeah, I mean, my focus is that like one thing I know wouldn't be righteous is a series of lies, right?
Right.
Like
Yep.
having things that are lies lined up, feeling like we keep symmetry when there's lies. That's also a lie. We don't. And so there's basically all those things, and righteousness does prevail, but it's got to be to me the correct form of righteousness. I would just say it's got to be like what I think is righteousness, justified belief in righteousness, and then I think it's correct.
I got a little disagree because I don't accept the subjective view. I mentioned earlier that I know for a fact righteousness prevails because that which is right is true. And the truth is true. It doesn't disappear. It might get misunderstood or something, but I believe it's just it can be very complicated, I guess what I'm pointing at, but it can also be just very, very simple.
Yeah, but you say it's, I've stood up for you and people who have accused you of being a cult leader, or they said, that Jack Talcott fellow, he's a narcissist. I've stood up, yeah, because those words hurt and they're untrue. They're not righteous. They're not righteous at all. But also I feel like, when you're searching for righteousness with God, it is promoting something that to me looks like it should be self-defeating. Like it's a form of a lie. It's another one of those lies that's in bed with the truth, or it's alongside with the truth type deal. It isn't inconsistent to say that, well, I hold to one view of righteousness, but I probably won't hold to this other one. And so that again, that's part of faith too, because if you have faith in Yeshua or Elohim or Yeshua, then you can have faith in that version of a God. But you don't have to necessarily have faith in all versions of that same God. So I see it as the same way with righteousness. To me, that is more important.
I suggest that without clarity of the mind, righteousness is simply overlooked. And the only way I've found to truly get clarity in the mind, it involves God. So you said some things are lies, but I'm interpreting what you said as the lies come from your rejection of God. Do I misunderstand?
Yeah. It's not. And just to be clear, I wouldn't be accusing you of a lie or lies, or like one big lie.
Yeah.
But I would be saying that at some point, basing any morality and divinity comes up flawed, because we know that what God must be like isn't like a lawgiver, right? He's a law interpreter. At the end of the day, God can't be a lawgiver, I don't think.
God is the giver of all. The all is
Okay.
God.
Yeah, we don't disagree about that. I think we would just disagree on the details. And um, and my perception of the details is that they become very important, especially in like how I would use the term righteousness in my own life. If God is a giver of all, then I would have to know all of God in order to know what his form of righteousness is. That's not giving a moral law.
You can know the laws of truth. You can know the laws of love. It's within us. It's a resonance. It's a frequency that our world and individuals have gotten unaccustomed to because they don't know where God is. They reject a lot of true and wise things, but I guess that's how we're designed. Every one of us is on our own individual path. Now, Duck, I do appreciate your resistance. I mean, but you can't prove God.
Do you know where I'm coming from though? Do you know where I'm kind of coming from on this?
I think so, but I'm not sure why you're choosing to disagree, especially in the greater picture of what you might know about me.
Well, about you, I would say that I think my argument's very strong because I know you reject organized religion, but you still teach the gospel of Jesus Christ and the saints of that day, right? So there's something very powerful in that message. But still, my usage of righteousness would center around virtue ethics. I would just go back to that same point that I'm talking about a smaller circle in existence than something that you would be talking about, I think, but I don't know.
Possibly. I might be looking a little more broad. But you know what? This life we're living, every one of us is walking each other home. We're here temporarily on earth in the form that we are, living the life that we're living. But if we unite together with love and compassion, with care, with honesty, right? Honesty, the only way we can overcome this world of lies is to stop spreading lies. Stop acting like we know things we don't know.
But we're doing some of I'm trying to straighten some of this stuff out in my head, but if I'm doing something righteous, and I'm treating myself with compassion, the love from within, whatever, blah 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 blah. Not blah blah, but I'm still even the parts of righteousness I don't have access to, I'm still doing those things myself. Oh my god, it's Ruby.
Hi, what's up? We're talking about
Good to see
virtue
you.
ethics.
Hey,
You
Ruby.
missed me?
Of course.
Yeah, I haven't been. Yeah.
I popped on briefly the other day, but yeah, I've been busy with moving, got a new job, so doing the multi jobs. But
Congratulations. That's
thank
super
you.
exciting.
Yeah, how's it going?
If I ever were to move, I wouldn't broadcast it. Just something changed, and then I just kind of not pay attention to it because we have a lot of creeps roaming around the net.
Ain't that the truth? I got doxxed before I even moved in. Honestly, I was like, "Are you kidding me?" It's people they take things way too far. Speaking of, what's up, Snafu?
Right. This guy is. I attract bitter men.
Me too. So we've got that in common, honestly.
All right. So Ruby, we got to figure this out. No more bitter men, right? You know what? I think we've both outgrown it. We're just dealing with the lingering effects. Because I've been seeing, I see little bits about you. You've got a lot going on, but I've heard you. your faith, your path, your testimony. You've been through a lot and you've done a lot, and I think you're doing good, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah,
You look
yeah. No,
so
I'm just
vibrant.
enjoying my day off.
You look vibrant and both vibrant as well as radiant,
Thank
Ruby.
you. Thank you. Well, I'm enjoying a nice, relaxing day. It's a beautiful day. I've got my friend Lo is coming to town to visit tomorrow. So it's yeah, it's a pleasant day. I've been watching Snafu crash out for hours and hours and hours. Beautiful things,
Ruby, the thing is if he listened to you or I or many others about what we've learned, he would hit a breakthrough. But
Right.
I was hoping I could help him understand, but golly geez, he is just convicted and convinced against me, man. Stubborn as hell.
Yeah.
As Snafu's boss, I encourage him to keep having his meltdown. We think it's very funny at the Keystone Cop crew.
Yeah, he gets like very like laser focused in on people, and like apparently he's done this like from person to person to person. I'm really mad at him right now because he just called my friend's mom and like was harassing her. And it's like, why? I just hate it when people like go above and beyond. It's like one thing if he wants to constantly throw my past in my face, like I could give one fuck. I'm proud of how far I've come. Like it just doesn't hit the way he thinks it is. It's like,
Right.
yeah, I've changed a lot. Hallelujah.
Yeah, exposes him for what he really is, and we shared that same friend. So, I was thinking of starting a list for false accusers, but we had to think very hard on the vetting process, how you actually get on the list. We can't just put stuff out there because we'll just be just as bad as those guys.
We can't falsely accuse people of being false accusers.
Exactly. So we probably had to ask like a formal mediation to meet the standard.
Yeah, but
But we're
Snafu
not-
definitely,
we're not
it's just
even there
it's just taking things too far because he can be funny at times, and like he's obviously he's another child of God, so he has his own value in this world, but he brings a toxicity with him that's just unfortunate.
Yeah, but
I
it's
wish.
not so
I
bad that
just wish.
toxicity is
Can't
not really.
you guys grant me though? Could you guys grant me though that I wish I do wish that like Snafu or other folks would see that we support everyone, right? This is a supportive type of community, so it doesn't matter if there's someone going above and beyond. We'd still support that person, don't you think?
Yeah,
On
but
like
yeah,
a human level, absolutely, yeah.
yeah, but he's so stinky of his toxicity. I'm better off just being his complaint department like I am, rather than pushed up against it. It's more productive that way.
Here, let me jump us back. Snafu is he's part of this, and Duck to acknowledge. Yeah, I wish he could see that he's not. He doesn't have to fight here, right? This is true. GTG. Many people have different ideas of what God wants them to do. Some believe their God wants them to lie, cheat, and steal, and this is the problem with belief systems.
Mm-hmm.
It can be both a force for good and evil. And
Yeah,
with
that's why we
this,
gotta stay humble, and just know like you're not some moral arbiter to go around accusing others, and that's what the Bible said. Jesus said not to judge others and to love them as your own.
that's exactly it. And this one, though, I wanted to press back. Local Experimentalist UK, thank you for joining. I think I've noticed a couple of things. I want to press back on this a little bit because I agree entirely. Stop blaming God for all your problems.
Leave it, Jack. Leave it. That looks so good right there.
Well, instead, blame your parents for the list of problems you have. Well, at some point, mommy and daddy are just in our memories, and at some point, we've got to accept our part for the problems that we choose to continue having.
Facts. Big facts.
I blamed and carried so much resentment for so many years. It did no good. No good.
Yeah, you got to give credit, to God for the solutions too. I always try to just think of all the prayers I've had answered and positive outcomes I was worried about and times I thought I was ruined and things are fine.
Right?
And just try to stay focused on that instead of, whatever dumb problem of the day.
You know what? I've met a lot of people online who have helped me grow into a better version of me. Some of them because I paid attention to their behavior, and other people pressed me. It was either I choose to become a better man or I continue getting angry. Snafu was part of that latter part that wanted to make it a little tougher for both of us.
Yeah. But yeah, it is. Anything can be a learning experience and a way to grow and reflect on our own behavior and how, I try not to be as like moralizing of other people and not as quick to like insult, even though I've been kind of insulting people all day. I do try to rein it in.
Oh, see? My friend, you are in the right place. Local experimentalist UK. You're in the right place because I used to think just like that. And maybe I'm interpreting through my veil. If you had a choice, would you want to be born into this world? If not, then make sure you don't bring any more humans into existence. I used to agree with the idea of let's not have any more kids because the ones that we were having, they're not being treated that great. So, but now I actually believe since I was able to change, I know for a fact others can change.
Yeah.
And if people can change, then we can be the change. I'm confident that we are. We are this generation that is going to choose to follow the way of love, to follow the way of health. And we're going to lead the world into reforms. That's what I want to talk to Donald Trump about.
Yeah.
I'm
100%.
serious. I do think it's worth a shot.
I mean, you miss all the shots you can't take. That's one quote I think a lot. It's like you should, and people, it makes people so mad when they see someone like aiming for something higher, trying to achieve. It's very like, kind of like the crabs in a bucket mentality at times, unfortunately.
Well, hey, this applies with you as well, right along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
Inspired by Mr. Snafu. When they feel small, they aim at those standing tall.
Yeah.
So,
I just think it's so funny that like, I don't know, it's weird how he's like, cozied up to like Ben, but is like coming at me and being like, you're a predator. And I'm like, dude, you are so confused in this world right now, but and you can't change someone else's behavior. He's pretty locked in like that. And, anyone can change, but they have to be ready. So
that's the key. But I do believe as I mentioned earlier, if we can help individually and collectively create the ideal situation, the ideal conditions, and each situation, each problem may have a different solution, but if we can focus our mind on the ideal, what would be the ideal situation that could help Matthew Sims kind of calm down so he could listen? He's in the back right now. That's why I'm throwing him in.
Well, as his boss, I should do a better job listening to him. So let's hear his complaint. What did we do wrong now?
No, I don't want to entertain that.
yeah, it's a hard balance to strike when you want to like hear people out, but you've been overly forgiving. And some people, the goal is just to derail, destroy,
Right.
display, like, and it's like
Yep.
you can only give them so many chances before it's just like letting someone into a party who's just like being a maniac and like hurting people. It's like you just remove them at a certain point, and if they want to act differently, then maybe they could try again. But in the meantime, like it's beyond what we can fix.
Yeah.
Well,
Gotta be on board.
there's a reason behind my madness too. His
Yeah.
negativity is his loop. The whole
Yeah.
point of this is to break his loop.
Yeah, so he's a special case. So normally, these guys will change their behavior, but we have to just keep vaccinating the community because otherwise he'll trick someone into doing his bidding again. So we had to bring him out and show everyone this guy's a bad guy. This is what you look like, and you don't enable them.
I know that's the common practice. You want to publicly guilt and shame someone, prove publicly that they did wrong, but my way is a little bit different. I mean, I really
It doesn't leave. I've done the just matching fire with fire. It doesn't, unless you're like a psychopath, it'll end up just messing with you, messing with your stress levels, and making things worse probably.
Well, I could be, but I never got. I didn't get what's called locked into a single personality disorder. So I could be, but they didn't tell me.
Hey, I want to welcome back Denizen. How are you today, brother?
Hi.
Greetings. I'm well, sir. How are you?
I'm feeling great. I'm glad you're here. Are you joining with anything, or you good for a bit?
I'm here to listen.
And you are truly welcome and appreciated. And let's also welcome Andrew. How are you, brother?
Hey, darling. I'm good. Sorry.
Local. Hello, local.
Yes. Hello, Ruby. Hello, Frank. I mean, Hank. Sorry, Hank.
Hello, Andrew.
What's up?
What the hell is
Hank.
going on?
And Ruby, I don't know if we've met. Hello.
Hi.
Oh, have you not met Ruby yet?
I don't know. I
don't
haven't
believe
been
so.
around with us lately, but well, hello, nice to meet you.
I
If
met
we haven't,
Debbie.
maybe we have met. We'll find out. But
Yeah, Ruby's another, for lack of a better term, another shining character, a character online who stands out and gets a lot of attention, and
for
she's
better or for worse at times. Yep. Yeah.
we're on similar paths for
Yeah.
sure. And I think we're pretty well allied with values and who knows, a lot of things.
Yeah, just trying to be better online. And honestly, I appreciate the efforts anyone puts in, because it could be such a cesspool of just negativity nonstop. It's a nice break. And it's desperately needed.
It is.
Are you an actual psychologist?
A psychologist to the celebrities, yep. No, I'm not actually a psychologist. I forgot that was my little thingy.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We are all on this path together, and to fix the world, to fix my world, I had to do exactly what I'm asking and hoping to lead Snafu to do. I had to change my mind. Oh no, how scary. Gotta change your mind.
Oh no, it's different. Discomfort.
What the hell?
Here's the thing: as long as you have to change someone's mind, they have leverage over you. I actually detach from specific opinions because I believe I'll find someone who's going to agree with me if I need someone. I don't need any particular person.
I don't need anyone either. But
That's a good point.
as Snafu alleges, he claims to have connections that would be probably pretty easy to help me, who would be able to easily help me with this crazy idea of convincing Donald Trump and Congress to end the wars.
I totally believe him.
What's that? I know it's tough to believe. It is tough to believe a liar. However, I pay attention to signs and I listen very closely. I don't believe I'm deceived. I think he may actually still have, while he can't seem to keep connections respectfully with us, allegedly he may behave different with others. So,
Well, imagine that connection and having Snafu talk to you. Just imagine being that high up person and hearing Snafu's voice. Would you even give them the time of day?
if they've got a history and a past together, it's very likely. Even if
I would think he was drunk. If I heard Snafu talk and have never met him before, I would just think he was a drunk and hang up on him.
Yes, if he
Yeah.
spoke the way he does a lot of times. But I've also had calm conversations, and in some areas he's got a mind that can pay attention.
Yeah, he's like he can totally be like lucid and coherent at times, but he just gets very obsessive and like I don't know. He seems to think he's like the judge and jury and like enforcer of something on YouTube, and it's like, what are you doing, buddy? Like people are allowed to change and grow, and he's like constantly just takes people's past, like the worst things they've ever done or whatever, and just constantly bring it up, even though it has no impact on or bearing on current conditions. You know,
Not
like
if he likes you. If he likes you, he'll cover up your crimes.
oh yeah, true. He is doing Ben's bidding right now. So
It's absolutely true. He flip flops. He's willing to lie, and that is not good.
Yeah.
But here's part of this reality too. Publicly, I've entertained chaos for a number of years. There's no escaping me connected to chaos, right? But I still hold hope. If somehow Snafu is able to achieve this sort of breakthrough where he kind of shifts his energy, dude, his transformation will become an incredible testimony, not just for him, but
yeah, that would be a beautiful thing, and you never know. Yeah, anything can happen. People are healed all the time, and
I'm too much of a materialist. There's like missing parts.
The brain is very neuroplastic. Okay, I have faith that even a brain is unfortunate as his is right now. I do think he could, I think he could be and do better for sure.
Okay.
I suppose it's possible, but then that would take extreme conditioning.
Maybe a little
like he would have to,
man.
He would have to regrow positive behaviors of neural pathways, right? Like he would have to practice being kind and calm so much that it rewired his brain.
And I can help him with that. But the first step is he's got to interrupt the negative, right? And if we can interrupt the negative and we can pause, then maybe we can start practicing the other direction, because he's got a lot of practice being how he is, that's for sure. So I've got this idea. Part of my theory is that when people gather together, that we can calmly find resolves.
But here's the thing: I'm as bad as he is, but I'm much better at hiding it. If you want to work on me,
do you call people's relatives?
Oh, I don't. I generally don't call the relatives
constantly.
No, I generally don't need to do that.
Or spam porn links everywhere.
No, my porn's private.
Hey, I saw a little bit of yours.
Oh, that's. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, so Hank was the star, actually.
I think just because Hank is more dangerous than Snafu, he's saying that he's worse than him, but I don't think that's the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm probably not as annoying, but I am absolutely more dangerous, and all of us know that.
Maybe.
Yeah,
all right, maybe he's
You're more likely to let something go and just play a video game.
Exactly.
Well, I actually think that's why I find so many just absurdly cruel people. They love battling me, and it took me a while to realize it's because I'm a safe target. They know that they're gonna be fine.
And you can always forgive them and let them come back and start all over again too. They can hit the reset button every day with you. I noticed that people use me for the same thing.
100%.
It's unfortunate, but this is part of what I'm really, I know from experience and education. The only way to truly heal our inner state of being, it is by righteous choices. That means no more sweeping the guilty stuff under the rug And that's what I see a lot of people doing. Stephen is a wonderful example of that. He shows up and he thinks that everything's just fine and he says the words, but it's an act. It's pretend, right?
No, come on. You got to give him more credit than that.
Okay, maybe.
No,
But
I'm joking.
okay, thank you. Well, I'm open though. I am open and reasonable.
Yeah.
Even though Steven is playing a character, Steven's pretty mild. Like nowadays, like when he comes on your panel, he's actually fairly respectable.
I know he is, but he's just using me for himself. He pretends that he's supporting me, yet I've repeatedly asked him to change his behavior, and he keeps redirecting the conversations and kind of not paying attention. So
I don't know why people are like this. It's just like, just be who you are. Is it that bad? Is it that scary? You might get rejected for who you are instead of an online character. Like, come on now.
Well, he's afraid he's gonna get recycled, and he hasn't found a way outside the realm, and that's why he's hurting. And he puts it on everyone else. He projects.
Exactly.
Wow, that was a good way of putting it, Hank. Afraid that he's going to be recycled. That's so accurate.
That dude projects a lot. I mean, we all project all the time, you know, but he's just like like a bat signal, you know. It's like the 20th Century Fox spotlights going around.
it's truly fascinating to me to witness the behavior of these allegedly mature and competent people, and it's like, no, you're not right ahead, dude.
They think the internet's not real or something. They're totally like depersonalized.
Yeah.
They think like this is somehow not them, and that
stuck in the
nothing they
90s.
do online matters. It's all fake, and like there's no rules, and you can be like horrible, and it's just totally fine. It's
That's
truly,
true.
it's interesting, but it is odd how, like, yeah, grown, competent, lucid people spend their free time just being incredibly cruel and like buddy trolling, and it's like, dude, just admit you're trying to be a buddy. Like, fuck off with the trolling. It's so gay. Like,
Hey, what came to my mind is this experience. I've had the thought, well, a number of things. There's been a lot of studies coming out, or at least I've been finding these studies on human behavior. But the reality is, for my channel could be one example, right? Take this before a class of college psychology students and have them analyze the different characters. I mean, holy cows, man. Because the disassociation, the dissociative disorder, it is on public display. Some of it's intentional,
and
but a lot of
sadism,
it's not.
like socially acceptable and like reinforced sadism, when you get these like damaged groups of people together, like all egging each other on to be like worse for attention, and then there's like an economic interest there, and just I don't get how people are so just like, all right, that's fine, we're adults. It's just a little it's extra, as they'd say. I hate buddy trolling. I hate this whole like lolcow culture of just like targeting anyone who's a little different or sincere or like threatens something in you. Like, it's just it's a
Hey,
lot.
real quick, a shout out to Kenny for the contribution and the announcement. Full-time England 1-2 Argentina.
Wow.
Thank you for that. There was something else I wanted. Where was that other? I don't know.
I'm curious who Kenny's rooting for, being a Scot. Is he rooting for England or is he rooting for Argentina? How do the Scots feel about England? I know he lives in London.
Yes,
Tell me, Kenny.
Scotland. He's in Scotland, if I remember right.
No, he's from Scotland. He's in England.
Oh, thank you.
He's in London. He lives in London, I believe.
Thank you. Yeah, that sounds more right than what I was remembering. Rodney, in this context, I'm not certain. Studies. Generically, dude, there have been so many studies on human behavior So many different patterns are being recognized. And really, once you see the patterns, you don't need the studies, you just see it.
Yeah. And there's lots of research about how people, feel disassociated online and like it's some other identity they can just take on and off and like, people can act totally normal, but in their free time they're like bullying just like random people online all day or just like obsessively hating like celebrities. It's like a whole culture of just hate watching, like and just toying with people.
If you watch them and talk to them, they'll tell you. They'll show you.
Yeah. Well, and specifically, there's people studying the influence on some of the younger people since they're now growing up in this age of electronics. It's different than when I was a kid, and there's different consequences. They're looking at some of the students that are being given tablets and kind of learn on your own like that. And it's interesting how things aren't always working out the way that people think they will. But I guess the bigger point is with everything we've got, everything that's created, there's good and bad. And the technology of today, it can be an incredible gift, a blessing for us, or it can be a worthless distraction, right?
Yeah.
I've used it for both.
Yeah.
And guys, I'm telling you, I'm going to put this shout out again to anyone here now or later. If you can believe that it's worth a try, let's find a way, because I can envision myself just sitting here having a conversation with Donald Trump and whoever else he wants to have in the room, right? And we can talk about ways to reform, because the reality is it's time for the truth to reign supreme, not that almighty dollar.
I think maybe you would have better luck talking to somebody else. I think Donald Trump doesn't give a shit about people. And if you try to talk about reform, it's just going to, in his mind, it's just going to be stepping on his potential to get money. That's all he cares about. I think there are other people that are way more influential and way more important that you could talk to than Donald Trump. I think that even trying to approach Donald Trump is a total waste of time. He doesn't give a shit. He'll never give a shit. He would literally kill a child if it meant making $5.
There's actually studies on this on millions of billionaires collecting money. Trump was one of the person that was money grubbiest. I'll look for it and give it to Jack.
Well, certainly.
He might be a psychopath. Yeah, I think he's a malignant narcissist, but you never know. I mean, I don't know him personally. He seems like a kind of like a psychopath. But at the same time, it's like you can aim for like the highest aspiration, and that can take you somewhere close to it, or as far as you can go.
Yeah,
doesn't mean it's a failure if it doesn't result in the exact thing. It's still moving in a direction of like interacting with people who have control of the situation.
Well,
maybe congressmen or senators or members of the House of Representatives might be more effective. You know what I mean?
I agree.
I feel like Trump is just a crook right to the core of his soul. You know what I mean? Like there is no good inside of him. He doesn't care about people. He doesn't care about how much people are suffering. If it doesn't involve money, he will laugh at you.
Do you know there's
seems like the presidency would be a waste of time then?
There's people who say similar things about me. I know those are not true. There's plenty of evidence that shows that they're not true about me, and I'm sure that a case could be made that shows Donald Trump has some redeeming qualities as well. I know I could present the case myself, but it's really the position, okay? I'm not going to lose sight of what this is for. And you mentioned Congress, and that might be a better path. I don't know. I mean, if someone is connected to someone in Congress, or you can get their idea, get their attention, and they can get on board with this, that it is time. It's time to change a different direction. Well, it's really the House of Congress is there supposed to be for us, or is it the House of Representatives for the people and the Congress is for each other? Something like that. I want to talk to all of them. And they can help me speak to Donald Trump. And Donald Trump, we can connect to the other people, the corporate leaders, the banking leaders, the other nation, state leaders, and we can all have a discussion about what is real and what is not real. And I do not accept excuses for wars. There are no real valid excuses for wars.
True.
I think maybe if just to entertain a hypothetical, and this isn't an attack, but just like imagine for a moment that you did speak to Trump, you did speak to members on the House of Representatives, Senate, Congress, and they all rejected you. They just don't care. Like, what would be your next plan if that did fail? Like, what would you try then?
I would clearly not give up. I mean, if I couldn't,
I don't think you should. No, I'm just saying we should consider other ideas in case it doesn't work out. Because in my mind, it doesn't seem like it would work out.
Yes, I have an idea that we could possibly do a lawfare. I mean, Imperius is a lawyer himself.
I think you guys lost sight of the goal.
Well,
no, I know the goal.
I know the goal, but I actually want to get there.
Say the goal.
Right.
Say the goal.
The goal is to end legal secrets and reform government.
Yeah.
Reform our government and end legal secrets.
And end
wars. All the time. We know your goal.
Yeah.
And end wars.
Yeah, and end wars.
Think about the why. We're fucking comfortable. There's men and women and children suffering right fucking now.
You think I'm comfortable? I'm hiding my rage. I'm not comfortable at all.
Oh, Jack, I've openly expressed to you how much this makes me sick about children suffering. I did earlier today. It's no secret. We're all against children suffering, but I think that we should explore all ideas. You know what I mean?
Against trying to do something. If you don't like my idea, go a different direction. But let's do something.
I am. I'm working on my.
We're not saying do nothing. No one's saying to do nothing. I'm saying just.
But it's always like, well, what if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't work? It's like, well, then do something else. I think is the idea.
Yeah, that's my point. Like, what might that be though? Like, why can't we just? Why do we have
why
to
don't you do it? Because he's doing one thing,
Jack,
and then you could do anything else. But it seems like people just want to accuse and just I don't know. It's like, what's the point of?
All I'm suggesting is to just have a plan B. That's all I'm saying. Like,
you
what would
think
plan
he doesn't
B
have a
be?
plan B in his life? He doesn't like live as himself and move through the world. Like,
yes, Jack, you're getting mad because you're responding to Snafu. If you're gonna respond to Snafu, you might as well just have him on stage.
Hank, you've come to the wrong conclusion again, and I know you were trying to interrupt to get that through, but I'm sorry. You came to the wrong conclusion, and I'm not convinced that I should bring Snafu up. He's completely irrelevant to this conversation.
That was sarcasm, Jack. He's being sarcastic.
I missed it. Thank you.
No, I'm not necessarily being sarcastic. You're getting mad at us for saying Jack stop trying to do what Jack's trying to do, and none of us on stage is doing that. So you must be responding to someone not on stage.
Or maybe, as I said, I think you're misreading. Let me calm down and maybe we can discuss what I'm talking about. Kenny, given you're wrong as well, thank you for sharing the contribution with your inaccuracy. Your confidence is wonderful. I truly admire it. Jack, the beta male, is being questioned. I get paid to get insulted.
You ever seen Kenny get questioned? Because, I've done it just a tiny little bit on this panel. And if that's how we're measuring things, then I guess all I have to say is beta.
And, is this another example of people projecting?
Probably. I mean, it's pretty beta to be weird and bitchy in chat as a male, but I digress. I'm gonna hop off, but always a pleasure. Have a good
See you, Ruby. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Bye. Nice to meet you.
Truly appreciate you swinging through. Thank you.
Jack, I genuinely want to make it clear that I'm not attacking you. I'm not dismissing your plan. It's just I just want to entertain other ideas because I personally don't think that idea is effective. You know what I mean? And as a team, we could do better than as one idea. I think more ideas are better than one idea.
How about this? Is there any way you can open yourself up to being convinced? I mean, because I've actually considered this goal for many years. I've analyzed. There's plans A. There's so many ways this can be accomplished. But on my own, I got nothing. I just got me and what's with me, right? And that's what
You're
I
not
want.
on your own. You're not on your own, though. I'm literally here. I support your goal. I would literally go to war with you if that's what you decided, Jack. Like I care that much.
Okay, thank you. So I'm not sure what might help you find more comfort in this idea. The way I see it, the biggest problems, it's not the people. The people are definitely a part of the problem, but the people that are the problem are the ones who are fighting for this corrupted system. They don't even know what they're fighting for or against. They're just like snafu. They're caught in the friggin' habit of fighting because that's what people have been taught. Now, the working class is taught to fight, and the owning class teach their children to rule. Let's not be stupid anymore, guys. We got problems. And the thing is the answers are here. They've always been here.
I actually figured out a way that a streamlined way to talk to Donald Trump. You could sue Donald Trump.
Many people have.
And if the lawsuit gets accepted to court, you're guaranteed to talk to him or someone that represents him.
That's true. There's many people going that path, but I actually think there's probably an easier, more forthright way as a human being. I mean, well, there's human beings who hold seats in Congress. I think Thomas Massey might be a great option. He's in this perfect spot of in between. He's already not liked by the administration. He could be an incredible ally. Bernie Sanders. I've paid attention to him for another number of years. I'm not promoting any side or any government. I'm saying there is a way, guys. Not everyone in the government is an enemy. I refuse to accept that.
We all agree with that. I guarantee everyone on this panel and half of the chat agrees with you. Like, I think that those suggestions that you just made are exponentially more effective than Donald Trump.
Agreed.
Like, but maybe not even reaching people that are in power, but maybe reaching celebrities, or maybe just like maybe unifying a bunch of, because there are pre-existing groups that are, against this sort of corruption, just like you are, large movements that are all not working together. They're all trying to do their own thing. And maybe you could just unify all of these small pre-existing groups into one large, I don't want to use the word army, but you know what I mean?
It's a movement. Yeah. It's
a movement. There you go.
That's really what I'm hoping to do. But on my own, I have emailed and called. And I mean, maybe I'm sure I could have done more. I'm guilty of not doing enough for sure, but I failed. I've gone to meetings. I've met people in person. I've sent emails. I've sent messages. I don't know what else to do to get Veterans for Peace. I mean,
I would try suing some of these politicians.
No, because I don't have a background in law, nor do I have any desire to teach myself the process when all I'm asking for is conversations. Seriously.
The best idea I could come up with would be to wait outside of somewhere where the president goes all the time, like Mar-a-Lago, and stand there with a sign that says, "I'm a veteran who just wants 15 minutes of your time. Mr. President, I'm a veteran who just wants 15 minutes of your time." And then you'd literally have to just stand there for a year until you started getting media support and coverage, and maybe his ego would be enticed into giving you a conversation.
Well, this is just it.
That could work.
His ego. I get it. And yes, making myself available, that's what I've been doing in many different ways. I also stopped wasting my time going.
It's not very practical, right? But
Right.
so it's the kind of thing that could work miraculously, as you would say.
It could.
Yes, our friend Imperius at least claims to be a lawyer. He's probably a litigant for sure. He may be able to help us go in the right direction about talking to these people.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you're absolutely right. Thank you. And that's just what you were pointing out, too.
Exactly.
There are ways to do things. It's a matter of what do we want to do. And I am looking for those who are willing to share support. That would require him to be willing, and maybe he knows others who might be willing.
Yeah, the system's set up in a way that if we ask the right way, they'll be compelled to at least respond.
Right? And so that's actually something Wizard has been, he yelled at me a number of times too. I didn't listen. I want to address this contribution, objective ethics. Thank you again sincerely for that. And the question, going to war to end all wars? Did I miss something? You have not. But your quote is one I truly honor. You cannot overcome darkness with more darkness. Only light can do that. You cannot overcome hate with more hate. Only love can do that. And that is the message I want to bring before Congress and into the administration of the White House. My theory is, if we can find a way to have a conversation, there are alive today many, many gifted teachers. All we need is the willingness of those men and women who are serving the public. We can convince them that listening is in their best interest. And then we can have an education, a moment of education to help make sure the men and women serving understand consciousness, integrity, honor, truth, right? Unity, most importantly. We help raise the consciousness of those people who have been so obedient to the old ways. And that, it's by shedding light on the darkness.
You know, one thing that I think is important to consider too is not only ending wars, but preventing wars in the future. Like, for instance, if we get America to pull out of supporting Israel and let Iran just obliterate Israel like they deserve, what is stopping China from starting a war with Taiwan, or what is stopping Russia from going back to war with Poland or the Ukraine? Like, wars are going to keep happening. We need a plan to stop wars from happening in the future too.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, Andrew. Thank you. And this is where we could kind of feed Trump's ego. He's been claiming he's the chosen one. Let's help him make it true. He claims he wants to end wars. He claims he wants to expose the corruption. I'm confident I can help him. And I know I'm not alone. I know there's many men and women who could easily help him, but he's surrounded himself by these yes men. And what the big picture is, what I see, Andrew, is we have worldwide commerce, logistics, communications, banking. We have worldwide problems. The solution for everybody is for everybody to come together.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a way better plan, is uniting people rather than trying to reach Trump. Like, getting people to form a giant group is probably way more achievable.
Well, and this is where, I mean, I've reached out, in my opinion, I've reached out to the right people I thought might be accessible and aligned with this cause. I mean, as Brown's Boy apparently reports often, I'm associated with Veterans for Peace. They do have connections to the UN. but there's human beings. I can't get human beings to speak with me. And all I'm trying to do, guys, is share some good ideas. That's it.
Perhaps do something drastic, like, I'm not even joking, like get naked and run across the Super Bowl, field with a big sign that says like we need to team up and stop Israel. I don't know. I don't even know, but just something super dramatic and crazy that would get a lot of people looking at you.
Well, I've done things that are in line with me, like the veterans action at the Capitol steps. I've done the protests. I've done a lot. I've done visits to the government officials, but my faith in God is growing. And I know that with God, this is not my idea, not entirely. It's just following the path of logic, and it makes most sense to try and save lives and try and relieve some human suffering. That's the why behind why I want to talk to Donald Trump in Congress. I think it's time, and I think we can. I just got to figure
a good
out.
piece of philosophy to attach to this is that everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of discomfort.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that something, a big goal like this, something that you really want like this, that's really hard to achieve, requires a really big sacrifice to be made.
I've, according to the narratives, depending on who you hear, I walked away from my family. I walked away from my career. I've given everything. I've moved myself across the country.
Way bigger than that. Way bigger.
Well,
like astronomically
what's
big.
Bigger than that?
Well, I mean, that's on a personal level. Like to Jack, that's big, but I mean like a huge sacrifice that goes way past just like an individual person.
Jesus did that.
How?
I don't know, but I'm just considering, like, when you want something really big that's really difficult to achieve, it almost always requires giving something up.
Oh, but this is just it. I have, and others have too, but they haven't accepted this opportunity as a real possibility. Oh my goodness. And I just realized we've had a guest waiting in the back, and I meant no offense or delays. I lost track.
Oh my God. This motherfucker.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the... Oh, I can't remember the fucking words. Good night.
God bless America.
Wow. I'm saluting. You can't see, but I'm saluting right now.
I'm saluting in my pants.
There's sometimes I really just don't even know what or how to reply. I guess thank you. That
reminded me when Biden tried to quote the Constitution and he forgot the words.
That's okay.
And then he turned over at his wife and thought it was his sister.
Well, yeah, we've got patterns apparently of enabling dementia in the White House, and I think it's time to stop. That's another thing.
Congress too now.
Well, this is another thing about Donald Trump. It's a clear example of a problem of our society in many different ways, right? But his health is just one of many examples. While he's passing his fitness and his evaluations and examinations, there's people, psychologists from afar, who are, they're reluctant to say too much based upon their licensing and all this, but the signs are clear. Donald Trump is suffering from a clear, confused mind. It can be diagnosed and labeled as many different things, but I know one of the biggest underlying causes, the man has mommy and daddy issues. He's a big bully who's been given too much power by a world that profits from oppression and manipulation. And I suggest he needs some help. Let's get him the right help.
What do you think is a good way to handle a bully?
That's been a lifelong test for me. I found many different ways depending on the circumstances and the individual.
Landry, look how healthy Landry looked.
I know, huh?
Landry, you look good. For real, you look good.
Does it actually look? Where does the health come in? You can tell
it's like your color in your face. Like you look thicker. Yep. You know what I mean? Like you look like you have muscle in your face. Like you genuinely look healthy and good.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
And at the same time, it looks like your face is slimmed up a little bit too.
Well, I went down to, or I lost a lot of weight last year, and then I bulked up, and then I lost a little bit more. So I'm trying to get my steps in every day. I'm challenging it's so cliche, but you know.
You do look good. Glad to see you.
What's up, Hank?
Hey, Landry. How's business been for you?
Horrible.
Typical. Yeah, I hope we'll fix that.
Wait, what?
Man.
We were talking about, well, I was looping on the same old ideas, but no, we're not looping. We're unpacking and looking at things critically with honesty. But the time has come. I know I'm not alone. I'm hearing this call from many other people online. It's time, brothers and sisters, let's find a way to connect different organizations, different groups of people. Let's see what we can do to get organized. And if someone's willing to help me connect with other leaders or other groups, whether it's groups of people or people of influence, resources help, connections help. It all takes a community to do something good or bad.
Maybe there's a way to turn the right against Trump. Because even though I'm not on the right, I identify as more of a leftist than someone on the right. I think that the one thing that's good about the right is they have balls and they're willing to put themselves out there and take risks to get what they want. The left is not willing to do that. And so I think that maybe if we could find some way to get them on our side, we would have a better, for one, we've been divided as a country. 20 years ago, there was almost no difference between the left and the right. We've become literal enemies at this point. The left and the right are at each other's throats to where the right is talking about going door to door and killing all leftists just to it's that bad right now. It was never like that in the past.
So I voted for Trump, I think 3 times. Then I voted for Kamala last time. But everyone on the right who isn't a boomer already left him.
Yeah, I have seen a lot of people turning on Trump. I agree.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. This is right. Much of the right has turned against Trump. That's why I think Thomas Massey may be. He could be accessible. It's hard to know who is or isn't, but I think he could be an ally on this side of ending the wars, right? Because he speaks against the Israel-America relationship. I understand him and someone else were trying to remove that part of the bill that merges American and Israeli intelligence and militaries together. Our nation is getting sold out. Guys.
How about a class action lawsuit against Donald Trump for raising the oil prices with his stupid Iran war? How about that?
Well, the corruption continues because of a lack of accountability. people have been conditioned and taught that someone else will take care of that. You got to go to this authority or that process. Well, that's not justice. It's the facade of justice. It's pretend. We've got real human beings who committed no crimes locked in our prisons right now. We have so many failings of justice. Innocent people getting murdered. I understand ICE took out a couple more in Texas and Maine recently. I mean, when is enough enough? I mean,
right now, enough is enough. I'm fucking ready.
People have become desensitized to murder. They don't even care anymore. You know, things like this happen and people quit talking about it 5 days later.
You have to function.
That's part of it.
That's a good point, Denison, actually, but
I compartmentalize it, and so it becomes like part of my shadow.
Yeah,
and then I'll randomly lash out at strangers online because
dude,
I have to see babies and women being killed.
Otherwise, I pull up.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons.
Myself, and it's just gonna make a mess bigger.
You should think about why you do it too.
Well,
it's actually very insightful.
It's a good question, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I suggest lawfare so we can.
We all carry this pain, whether we want to admit it or not. Even the people who wave the flag for war and say Donald Trump should kill them all, they don't even know the hurt and the pain that they have inside them. They can't even access it.
Exactly. This is the problem. I mean, as it was written in the scriptures with Jesus, you know, the dead, let the dead bury the dead. So many people are dead to the life they're living. They are in absolute denial. But the thing is they don't have to be a part of this, right? Those who are conscious and who can see, it's up to us to unite, to save the confused from hurting themselves. They keep voting in this corruption. I used to do it too. I used to believe in it. I used to promote voting, thinking that if we just get the right candidates, things can change. Well, let's not wait anymore. Let's take what we've got like real adults do when we've got a problem. You take what you've got and then you do the best with it that you can. And I think we've got a problem in our government, but let's get it. Let's call it out, finding a way. I know there's a way to do this. I pray to be a part of it. But like I said, if you guys can come up with someone who may have a better chance of succeeding, help me talk to them, and all my support will go to them.
Bye, Landry.
Bye, Landry.
He is. I like that guy. He triggered me a lot for a while.
I think he triggers everybody from time to time.
I've never had a problem with him.
I haven't either. He's a clown, though.
Yeah.
I'm confident that that's what's happening in this dysfunction with us. We've got some very wise, very talented individuals coming together. And if we can get past our disagreements and our patterns, our bitterness.
You're right, but we can't.
Exactly.
Yes,
that's the problem.
Yes, we can. Any can't.
All right, Barack.
Any can't is a will not. And where there's a will, there's a way. We will.
That's true. Like, you know, I agree with you on, well, see, that's where we part ways. Yes, we can. Where there's a will, there's a way. And there is a way, and we won't.
No.
That's the only, we agree all the way up until the end, Jack.
No, you're speaking about yourself. You haven't given yourself this opportunity to see the success.
Jack, I tried with the humans. I tried. They told me to go fuck myself. They'd rather watch me die than make the slightest bit of sacrifice, take the smallest chance.
I know.
Even to hold their brother's hand, they'd rather chop it off. So I decided I'm gonna be all about pizza and beer and getting laid. I'm done.
All
Those
right.
are some
See, you
solid
and
goals.
it is good to have.
I'm sitting back like Gabriel. I'm gonna watch these monkeys tear themselves apart. And if
Let me
there's
come-
some kind of heaven left over, I'll be like, "Hey God, I tried."
Hey, let me swing back to this. I want to address Rodney because I think those who know me, you know that I've got definitely a connection to Paul, but I disagree with his statement. No, I do agree. Paul did try to help me, and still did. He did help me in many ways. He wasn't willing to work with me though, and that's, I guess I'm guilty of that as well. I didn't want to work with him his way. He didn't want to work with me my way. And so
What is his way?
But
What's Paul's way, Jack? I have never heard his opinion on this.
he's never said it, but based on what I've seen and experienced, he likes people to be next to him and just make him look good. So that's not about me.
No, I mean in regards to like ending war. Like, has he ever proposed like a solution?
No.
Oh, well, this is where he and I are split as well. And I'm sorry.
Does he think there should be war?
He's convinced that he doesn't believe there's any hope of changing it. So he's of the idea of breaking away and create something better. And then the people that believe in
Who's
the
this?
system come
Listen,
back.
Paul. We know how his way goes. We brought O'Shea went Paul's way, and they're nowhere. They're nowhere as well. So we gave them a year to show us how to do it right, and they can't have nothing to show for it. So we don't have to worry about his way because we know it doesn't work.
I won't say that.
I don't know. The breaking apart way is the closest, most effective thing, I think.
Yeah, that was interesting to me.
You're not going to change the external world, but you might be able to create such a bubble around your own world that you can actually purge some of this toxic, say you have no access to TV, no access to radio, no access to social media, and then you build a community in which people actually treat each other with kindness and cooperate, then you effectively detox you and your children. It's not going to help change the world, and then in one generation or two your kids will be right back into the system, but at least temporarily speaking, it can purge some of the hate and toxicity out of your body and your mind. Especially if you grow your own food too.
Yes, but you're already a guy Paul pretends to be online. So even sticking with you is doing better than doing anything Paul wants us to do.
I won't disparage what he's doing or what he suggests doing. That's not my path. And while I agree, yeah, there's a lot of people who are going that route, breaking free, taking care of their children, making sure their children are raised right. But I actually think that's what my mom and stepdad tried doing with me. They kept me away from the city and, real natural, woodsy upbringing. And just like you said, Denizen, I ended up part of the world. But by giving up this at 15 years old, early in my life, someone brought up Gandhi earlier. Well, Gandhi was a big influence on me when I was young. My parents introduced me to him and many other philosophers and stuff. And so I knew the truth. When I was young, I used to make fun of the military recruiter who showed up. I thought they were stupid for being obedient to corruption. I saw it as a kid. And then as I got a teenager, seeing a single mom working hard, trying to take care of her kids and keep everything going, I was like, wow, there really is no way to change this. That's when I gave up and I became a part of the system, went in the military. Took me years to wake up again. And now that I see, I will not unsee and I will not make that mistake again. My purpose My purpose is in the direction I'm pointing. I know this.
So I promise I'm genuinely not trying to make you mad right now, but
I speak freely, please.
So like violence is out of the question then, right?
I believe there's other options available, and I don't believe it would be helpful.
Well, I only ask because as you know, I'm a history buff. And historically speaking, that's how people achieved peace when there was oppression like this.
Freedom has never been given. It's only been taken.
Well, this is what I'm talking about, is reclaiming our freedom through peaceful means, through what these politicians and many of the people view as the way, right? It's the rules. Well, let's fix the rules. Let's ensure that equality is available to everyone, and then we'll figure it out from there. Hey, let's welcome back Kenny Given, please.
What's up, Kenny?
Hi, I'd like to show you guys a text message I received today from a potential client whose dog I was going to look after until they searched my name on Google. Do you mind if I share my screen, Jack?
Sure. Nothing.
There's
wrong,
nothing
right?
dirty,
Yeah.
nothing filthy,
Yeah, go
nothing
ahead.
illegal.
Go ahead, please.
Right, okay. Let me get the file open.
This life is a trip, is it not?
That is one thing's for sure.
I've been learning not to take small things so seriously. And then I'm learning not to take the big things so seriously, which might touch on what you were talking about, Dennis, and carrying
Okay, I'm
that.
sharing the screen now.
It's kind of small to read. If you can make it bigger, it might help.
Yeah, hit that plus button at the bottom. That will help.
Oh, yeah. Right, okay.
Thank you, Hank.
Okay, now scroll up.
Right, Kenny, I'm sorry to mess you about. I've sent you a little gesture on Amazon on the hope that there will be no hard feelings. But I want to cancel our arrangements for, in brackets, I can't believe I'm saying this, political reasons. I popped your name into Google and learned that you're a big supporter of Trump and Farage. That's Nigel Farage, leader of Reform UK, the party I'm a member of. I'm not a political animal. Oh, really? Fuck, you could have fooled me at all. But when it comes to those guys, well, you and I are on the opposite sides of the spectrum. My reply is, I'm proud to be on the right side of history.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you froze.
Yeah, I think you lost connection, Kenny.
Are you sure about that, Kenny?
God smited him.
His anger overwhelmed the internet connection. I think Kenny might say that's kind of a beta reaction he gave there.
Oh, he's back.
We lost you during the middle of it, Kenny, but
saw the message though.
We saw it. Yeah. So you replied, and you stand by your reply?
Of course. That's why the more I'm seeing the reaction of the left towards people that disagree with them, the more I'm learning that it's just going to be impossible to fulfill your dream, Jack, of the left and the right uniting. There's just too much hatred and bitterness on the left, and they feel morally justified in their position. I'll tell you why. The postmodernist doctrine tells them that they are holding the moral high ground because they are punching up. They're punching up against the imperialists supporting straight white males.
Yep.
The
Imperialists.
dominators of what they call the patriarchy. They're never
Yep.
going to want to unite with us.
Right.
So we have to be armed and ready for conflict.
Yeah, that's what they want you to think.
My mission is not to unite with them. My mission is to be
I know.
martial.
I know.
Martial means
Yep.
ready for war.
So Kenny, I have there's a real Trump had from Trump's website during his first campaign, so I know for certain that you're wrong. I was in the right. They're the same thing. They didn't give a crap about me. I was just useless labor. It was just helping the campaign and fuck off after that. They don't give a shit about me either. So I'm not going to join the left or the right.
Hank's right, and I'd like to point out the obvious lack of introspection here, Kenny. I mean, Ian tried, he even stumbled over himself as he made a decision to separate from you politically, and you took that as an opportunity to quadruple down. You called him a scurrying rat.
Yeah,
and
that's just a cowardly thing to do.
The level of hatred. The level of hatred, though, seems to be coming from your side.
I was justified in my anger there. Let me get in here. I was justified in my anger. He's the one that took it upon him.
I'm not claiming the contrary.
Jack, you can shake your head like a beta milk. He was the one that took it upon himself to Google my name.
I'm not claiming to the contrary.
To fucking do business with me.
So what? I'm just saying that when it comes to the level of hatred that you put against him, you hated more.
Hold on just now. It wasn't me that opened the paradigm of politics into the dynamic. He introduced it.
How dare we?
Yes, and then once he did, you showed that you have a greater hatred for him than he has for you.
Yeah.
Because I was the one that was discriminated against based on my political views.
I'm not trying to tell you whether or not you're justified to hate.
Me based on politics.
Kenny, stop trying to justify yourself to me.
Yeah,
I'm merely showing you that you said the problem is the way that they hate you.
I didn't really want to. I didn't really want
hate
to hear
him.
anything you've got to say. You've lost
I
all
know, so why don't you fuck off then?
What you've got.
Fuck off.
I don't want to listen to you.
Off.
I don't want to listen to you. All right.
Don't come up here with your stupid little message.
What happened to part of the market, Kenny?
Please, guys, come on now. I agree with what you're saying, Denizen, but please, we can be more. There's better ways we can communicate. But Kenny, seriously, dude, you revealed what's within you. And what's within you is this belief system that it's okay to lash out at people.
What the problem is with the left, they're always looking for a reason
Kenny,
to dehumanize the people who disagree with them. You never get the right people on the right.
Listen, the problem is you.
Shut the fuck up, Denizen. If I was in person there, I'd beat the fucking crap at you.
You couldn't. I'd snap you like a twig.
Please, Denizen, please
stop. I would smash your jaw.
I'm muting Kenny so that he doesn't have to reveal this dark side of him. Okay? Kenny, what you're doing is you're making excuses. You're using the excuses of them.
He was the one that found the excuse not to do business with me.
So
what? And then he used it as an excuse to hate him.
Kenny's entitled to his money. Kenny's entitled to the money, right? Don't you get it, Jack? Kenny's entitled to the money.
The left are seeking to isolate the right. You can't talk about unity if the left are constantly dehumanizing and alienating the right. People who disagree with them. You can't have that.
All right. Great.
We see the same thing from the right, to be fair. I think it's the extremists on both sides are doing that. Exactly. It's not just the left, it's not just the right, it's the extremists on both sides.
The thing is, I'm no extreme right. I'm right of center.
Kenny, I'm
pro-free speech. I don't care what people's political views are. I'll do business with them regardless of their political.
I'm asking you to please stop. Come on now.
When people are making false accusations against me, I'm quite right to defend myself.
And I have the right to call your behavior into question. I have the right to maintain some sort of order here. Please
You're a fucking control freak, Drac.
Oh my God.
Man, I wanted to ask him a question.
He's not amenable to that. Look at him. He can't control himself.
Well, all I wanted to ask is that he said he wanted to make sure that he was armed for conflict. I was just wondering if he meant defensively or offensively. Like, does he think the left is going to come attack him, or is he saying that he wants to go attack the left? What is he saying?
He's clearly blaming them.
That is what I wanted to address.
I think that Kenny is talking about the extreme far left and trying to pretend like the entire Democratic Party is that very small minority of lunatics.
Yep.
Well, but not only that, the dude Ian was nice to him.
Well, the problem of generalizing everyone and labeling everyone, admittedly, where Kenny may have reacted is in just what he does, right? Someone looked him up, saw his public support and said, no, this guy isn't good enough. But Kenny's a good guy. He's just got the ideas he's got. So Hank, thank you for the contribution. And yes, you sent money to Jack instead of Kenny. I do think, guys, we're hitting that 3-hour mark. I think I'm done.
I understand. Thank you for having me, Jack. I appreciate you hearing my opposition out. I genuinely wasn't trying to upset you. I just want to try to put all ideas out there. I respect your mission and I'm in support of it. I always have been. I love you. Take care.
Hey, Andy, thank you very much. And no offense was received. Not at all. I appreciate the suggestion. Make sure you have other ideas. And if this one's not feasible, what's there? But I'm convinced that the path to end wars is through the people representing America in Washington, D.C. Can't come up with another feasible option unless maybe the path is through the UN. Go to the UN in order to catch the American leadership. I don't know, but I know there's a way, and I want to be a part of that. Hank stepped away. I'm gonna drop him out. Denizen, you got anything final, brother?
I just want to say shout out to Andy. I liked his energy today. He was calm and positive and very supportive. And it was nice to meet Ruby too. I liked her ideas and how observant she is about these interactions on social media. I hope she comes back a lot more. I'd like to hear more from her brain. And shout out to Kenny too. Kenny, have a beer, buddy. Watch the game. Watch some football, as people call it out there, and chill. Have a slice of banana bread. That always calms me down. I don't know if his support for Trump is the problem, but if he's a dog sitter, then perhaps work on the temperament a little bit. I'd be afraid that you might, kick my dog. If you don't drink, have a soda pop. I don't know what to tell you. I'm trying to be nice, Kenny. I'm just trying to be nice.
Exactly. Hey, thank you for that, bringing the honesty.
I'll see you later.
And the kindness. Blessings to you. It looks like Hank's returned. I'm going to give him a chance too.
Yes.
Thank you, my friend.
I think even Gandhi wouldn't do. I checked. I think in our American culture, we should consider some lawfare so we can at least address these people since they continue to refuse your invitations. So we'll invite them to the courthouse so we can discuss their behavior.
That's a good idea. And I'll give that. I mean, I'd considered ideas like that a long time ago, but I didn't have where I went for support. It wasn't there. But you brought up, yeah, there's folks connected and maybe viewing that have the legal education. They got the knowledge, and something that might be helpful might be real easy for someone like that.
Someone like Imperious. Everything's easy for someone like Imperious.
Hey, possibly. Hank, Thank you very much. Andy, sincerely, my brother, my friend, again, your support and contributions are truly appreciated. And I encourage that. Hit that like or I will fight your dad. I'm not going to fight anyone's dad. I'm too old for that anymore. But you know what? You get the message. The idea is to share some love. The stream, we kind of went all over the place, but that's how I roll, I guess. That's what love does. Love will lead you here, it'll lead you there, but it's the truth that guides you safely. How righteousness prevails, it lasts. The truth, the true nature of your good deeds, whether they're recognized or not, they stay true. So be true, be with the face of truth, be with love, be with love as you go through the day so that whatever true comes up, you can see a reflection of love with you. Love is what it's about. Love reveals heaven. Heaven and love are together, and be together with love to be with the kingdom of heaven. That's your birthright. The path, we talked about this too, besides religion, the words and the teachings of Jesus regarding forgiveness, compassion, mercy, forgiveness. Say that twice, forgiveness, and repentance, right? It's okay to change. Matter of fact, that breakthrough I talked about early in the stream, that breakthrough that might be right before you, it's going to bring a transformation. And with that transformation, you might see old problems just kind of disappearing and solving themselves. There was one last thing I wanted to swing through with, and I got it. Could have done this earlier. I've got us set to forward over to another stream. Friend of the channel, Finding Gnosis. I'm not sure if he's even there today. Today being Wednesday, they're doing another women-only panel. So I got us set to go that way. I'm going to wrap it up. Brothers and sisters, thank you again to all who swung through, all who found value, all who found support, reasons to support. Join me. Become a part of this adventure simply by becoming a part of connecting. It doesn't take a lot of time. If you've got a good idea, send a message, send an email, make a call, send someone my way. Help with an introduction or a connection. You become a part of something that I feel is really going to be big. Peace on earth is no joke. It's waiting for us. Till next time, choose love, peace for everyone, walk with faith, and live without fear. Thank you again. God bless.